Awesome, guys. I have the call recorded. We're getting things moving. I know there's people watching from, rooms right now, and so there's well over 50 people on this call. I just really want to express to you and get a clear understanding right from the get-go that this may be one of the most powerful, generic network marketing trainings that you were ever going to receive. The reason being is because we have so many powerful leaders speaking, and I believe that it was one of the most paradigm shifting weekends, if not weeks, that they have all experienced. This is my third GoPro, and I don't think I've ever been more excited or more just completely like mind blown, like like for a lack of the better words, don't even know where to start kind of thing, because there was just so much powerful information. It was just insane. Every speaker made 7 figures, every single speaker, or they were making over $750K a year. And so just that, and that value is insane. I think the craziest thing in the world is the power of showing up, because I remember Mike and I talking about GoPro, and we're like, man, bro, we're just going to go. We're just going to send it. We didn't even know who was speaking till 2 days before the event. I didn't know Lou Holtz was going to be there. I didn't know Eric Thomas was going to be there. I didn't even know Grant Cardone was speaking. I had no clue who was speaking. I just knew showing up and getting into a place, in an environment, to an atmosphere of that caliber of information was going to change and project not only myself, but the people that I brought with for the rest of the decade. I knew how powerful that information was going to be. And so what I love about this industry and what I love about this organization is we're able to share that information. Now, I understand, not everyone's able to drop $500 for a ticket, take 3 to 5 days off for work, buy a flight, pay for expensive Vegas food, getting pad thai, paying $30 for it, right? Not everyone can do that. So I'm super happy and super grateful that the leaders on this call are willing to share what they learned, are willing to share their applications, not just for their team, but for every single person that wants to receive this information. I think that's the most powerful thing in the world, because at the end of the day, it doesn't help their business. At the end of the day, it could take away from their business, because they may be sharing information with people that live in the same area that they do, but they understand abundance. They understand the value of sharing value. They understand what it takes to go next level. And so this call, I do not plan on doing a lot of speaking at all. I really just want the other leaders that came to Vegas and went to Arizona with us to shine and really just share an immense amount of value. A lot of them have selected specific speakers. They'll speak more wide spectrum of things we learned about. They'll talk about the 2K retreat, whatever it may be. But we're just going to jump right into this. Make sure you have your notebooks out. If you're taking notes from your laptop, that's fine. Make sure you're ready to go, because this is going to be super to the point. It's going to be a lot of information, and I expect this call to go for about 2 hours. So just get yourself into that mindset now that we're trucking through this. We're going to be going through a lot of information. And a lot of these topics, you guys are going to see us do specific hour-long trainings on. We just really want to get all that information out there to really just start getting your mind moving. So the first speaker really doesn't need an introduction. The first speaker is a massive reason why Brady is killing me, man. He's really the massive reason why we have the Telegram. He's really a massive reason behind the system that we have. And it's so funny, because this individual was someone who did not want to do this, didn't believe in trading, didn't believe in network marketing, didn't believe in me, didn't even believe his roommate Mike. This was someone that thought this was a joke. This was someone that I never expected. I mean, I loved it as a person, but never expected to join the business. I just never saw it happen. And then just to see where they're at today, the paradigm shifts, the amount of self and personal development, how they've traveled the world, how they're really just growing, the information they know as a trader. It's insane, guys. Getting a training from this person is the same amount of value as getting a training from Mike and I. So take this seriously, pay attention, drop some 7-7s in the chat, and I'm going to go ahead and let Jordan LaSavage take over for us.
I was trying to unmute myself, but we were doing it at the same time. What is good, everybody? How we doing, Quantum Creations family? What is good? Cody, Kevin, Kendra, Armando, Brady, Tim, Alana, Jocelyn, Tyler, Jessica, Caesar, Maria, good to see your beautiful faces. You know, leaders always got their cameras on, showing that they're present, showing that they're learning. What's good, everybody? What's good, Alex? I see you. What's good, Ivana? How we doing, QC? Yo, Aylin, I see you. I see you. I see you. But no, I'm just super grateful for Tim, for Mike, for, you know, like Tim just shared that story, my story of how I thought this shit was a scam. Oh my God. And I'm just so grateful for them to just how patient they were and them always just leading the way for me, always having patience with me, and then looking to where we're at now and going to GoPro with these guys and learning from 7, 8-figure, 9-figure earners in the industry. Wow, guys, one thing I gotta say to start this off with is like, yo, we are so freaking blessed with I Am, the company that we're in. Y'all have no idea. If this is your first network marketing company, drop a 7 in the chat. I want to know this is your first network marketing company, right? Damn, Brady. Just do it once, please. Please do this once. Don't spam it. I know everyone's like, ready, 777s, let's go. But first and last, yeah, you know, for me too, this is my first ever network marketing company. And so I have no prior experience in the industry. And being at GoPro, seeing all these different leaders from different industries and just talking about their vision and how they go about this business, it's insane. It's insane. A lot of them are selling products, lotions, potions, snail oil, right? You know, but what we're offering here at I Am is a service. We're in the business of customer service, right? Yes, that involves acquiring customers, but for where most network marketers are focused on just getting a customer in the door, our main focus, that's just step number 1 for us, right? Our focus is to actually train and develop someone to become a better person, to learn how to invest. And that's what I want to talk about to you guys tonight. There was a really, really powerful training done by a man named Fraser Brooks. I'm going to drop his name in the chat for y'all. Go ahead and look this guy up on Instagram. His content is insane. His training was insane. He was lit. He was really, really animated, and he really, really got to me. So I'm going to actually take out the whiteboard if I'm allowed to do that. And I want to show you, I'm going to draw a little bit for you guys tonight because this was actually a very visual training on how we did. And this how he painted this picture, right? So when you come into network marketing, right, we're going to draw this out right here. You're standing over here. This is you coming into network marketing. You have no idea what's going on. Like most of you guys put in this chat, you have no experience in network marketing. You've never done this before. But what you can see is you can see that there's some people over here that are winning, that are living from this, are living the lifestyle that you want. That's why you join, right? You listen to people that have what you want. You can see people over here that are winning, that are in what's called Winterland. Well, if these people over here are in Winterland, right, I'm going to draw a little palm tree over here. Yeah, that's supposed to be a palm tree. Don't judge me. Hey, that turned out pretty good, actually. Look at that. These people over here, they're winning. This is the Winterland over here, right? And so if these people over here are winning and are having success in this industry, where are you? If you're not in Winterland, well, I'm sorry, you're in Loserland. You're over here. That's okay. Because guess what? I started over here in Loserland too, right? And so the difference, what I want to explain to you guys tonight, I want to show you, and I'm going to give you the blueprint of how you go from Loserland to Winterland. But as many of you guys know, I mean, unless it's your very first day and you just joined Quantum Creations, welcome if that's you. But as many of you know, that there's a lot of obstacles and things to go through to get from here to over to here, right? So what are those things down here, right? You got like sharks, you got like barracudas, I don't know. I'll just draw a little skull down here, make that like death, like, oh, scary shit, right? You draw like a bomb, I don't know. Whatever you want. I'm gonna draw a shark too. I have some fun with this, right? Oh man, live drawing on Zoom. This is fun. I've never done this before. But that's a shark, right? That represents danger. That represents all the obstacles that you have to go through, again, to get from Loserland to Winterland, right? And so what I want to talk to you guys about is just how do you go from left to right, right? And with network marketing, it's a very simple. It's very simple. There's one goal that you have. What is your goal? Well, how do you make money in network marketing? It's customer acquisition. Getting someone on a presentation, getting someone in your business. That is the goal of recruiting, right? Most people don't like the word recruiting. Not a fan of it either. But the goal of this industry is to get someone into your business. Simple, right? To go from left. So you here, starting here in Loserland, You have no idea how to do it. You tell all your friends. They tell you you're in a scam. They tell you you're in a pyramid scheme. But your buddy over here in Winterland, right, Tim, I watched Tim all weekend long just talk to people and tell them, share him with this like it was nothing. Like, he's a champ. I was amazed at like how good he is at, right? And so how do you go from Loserland, where everyone thinks you're selling them a scam, to Winterland, where you can just naturally and effortlessly share this and expose people to this business, right? But there's a few steps. There's 4 simple steps. Number 1, the very first step to this. So easy, right? And I'm going to be referring more to this on social media. This is going to be like a social media training. That's how most of my business has been built, is through the internet. That's how it's the easiest way to meet people, right? Number 1 is he used a little acronym. It's called FAM. That stands for find, add, and message, or follow, add, and message, right? So find someone on Instagram, add them, and message them, right? It's pretty freaking easy. Slide in someone's DMs. Hey, how are you doing? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you like? Form, right? Your list of who you have should always be growing, right? And this is the easiest process. How easy it, guys? Guys, drop some 7s in the chat if this just seems super easy to you. Follow, add, message, fam. Does that seem hard? Can y'all do that? Are y'all capable of following, adding, messaging people? Right? The whole goal of these trainings, and one of the big nuggets I learned at GoPro, is keeping things simple, keeping things basic. This training I'm about to do, I'm going to show you how easy it is to get people into your business. We make it so hard. Tim dropped one of the nuggets of all time for me. He's like, soccer is a freaking easy-ass game. You put the ball in the net. It's complicated by the 22 people on the field, and the announcer's like, oh, look at this strategy, this tactic, right? Network marketing is easy. You get someone in your business. We're just complicated, right? So first step, follow, add, message. And you have to treat everyone like they're someone. You know, everyone wants to feel good. Everyone wants to be recognized. You have to listen, right? When you're adding and messaging people, you should be interested, not interesting. You should be asking them questions, asking what they like, right? They will give you information to give you the opportunity. And when you get that opportunity, step number 2 is ask if they are open. I think I can actually use a text button here. I'm going to switch to that. Ask if they are open. This one was a huge one for me. I never really directly been exposed to or instructed from a professional making 8 figures to actually say, ask them if they're open. It's so simple. Like, ask them to open. Just ask the permission. Hey, do I have permission to show you something, like to show you an opportunity? Ask permission, because then it's not weird. It's not awkward when you're sharing the video, when you're sharing the opportunity, when you're talking about it. Just ask, are you open to, right? Armando's the man in the world with the words. Are you open? Are you open to making more money from your phone? Are you open to other opportunities? Super, super easy. And guys, we're so blessed with this social media, what I'm training on. You don't have to be like smooth and think of it on the spot like I am right now. It's like, you can just, these messages, if you don't know what to say, send a screenshot to me, send it to Tim, send it to someone. They can directly show you, right? You have time to think about this. So that's the second step. And what we're doing here is we're building a bridge that's going to take you from Loserland to Winterland, right? These are the steps to create that bridge to get across, right? And so we got step number 1 now, created here with FAM. We have step number 2 here, created with ask. And there's only 4 steps to this process, right? Ask them, are you open? Right? And with asking, there's 2 ways to do it. You can be direct or indirect. Direct is going to be straight to, are you open to making money on your phone? Are you opening to outside income, right? That is a way more steeper direction toward go, but it has a more likelihood that you're going to be, no, I'm not open, right? All right, cool, next one, right? And which we'll get into that 3rd step, which is objections. And then the other way is indirect. Right? Building a relationship, getting to know this person, getting to know who they are. But the thing is with indirect is, I know I happen to me, and that's why I know, and I see it happen to other people, is you'll be messaging somebody on Instagram for like 2 weeks, like a month, like 2 months, just building a relationship. And then you almost get to this point where you're scared to ask them. Like, what was the point of you talking to them in the first place? Are you really out there to build hundreds of thousands of friends on Instagram just to talk to them and chat with them on Instagram? If they are, then cool, right? But the objective is to show them the opportunity, to show them what I am is. So in the indirect, when you're building a relationship, that's a great strategy, and that's how you want to go about doing it. But just don't be scared to ask that question. But the best thing is so easy to just say, ask if they are open, right? If they're open. So next, third step is objections. You're going to get objections. That's why we're going to put it as a part of this right here, right? It's going to happen. You're going to get objections. Objections are easy though. Like your feelings should not be hurt when someone has an objection to your opportunity, when someone has an objection to what you said, right? Sometimes they ghost you. Sometimes they just stop replying, right? And so having that mindset that, I'm going to face objections. I'm going to deal with people that don't want to do this coming into this. It's going to help you. It's going to make this seem simple, right? If I tell you from the get-go that, you're going to have to follow, add, message people, simply ask if they're open, you're going to get objections, right? This is what the point of training is, to be able to show you the basics of doing this. You're going to get objections, right? And so one thing that's an easy way to do it, when my brother does, a little nugget from him, like if you sent the message, if you asked them if they were open and they never replied to you, right? One thing that he does is he'll like the message. He'll go back and like the message, because then they'll get a notification. And sometimes somebody simply says, yeah, I was actually open, but I just forgot to respond, or I was typing a message and they never responded. So, because you directly approached them, you directly said what you want, you stated your intentions, and sometimes that takes people away. So when you get those objections, sometimes they're either going to not do it, and what you can do is you can just like the message, or you can change the color of the chat, whatever it may be, to remind them that you're there, right? You don't have to be pushy. And one thing, another good opportunity for objections, another good example, what he said, he would message people and say, hey, just be direct about it. Hey, I noticed you didn't respond to my message, but are you cool if I keep you posted with my progress? Who's going to say no to that? Who's going to say no if you say, hey, are you cool if I keep you posted with my progress? They're like, sure, yeah. And so then you can follow up and you can share things like that, and you can keep them following your progress, right? Because like Tim said, man, I got exposed to this a year before I joined, right? And it was those constant exposures that actually finally ultimately made me make that decision, right? And then so the fourth step to getting over here to Winterland, because this is all you literally have to do to make money in this business, people on calls, to get people in front of someone, to use a tool. That is step number 4. I'm going to put it up here, is to use a tool. We have tools for you guys. Opportunity calls. You should not be explaining to somebody what Forex is. You should not be explaining to someone what the cash flow quadrant is. Not be explaining these things to people. Why? Because you're not the one who's going to make the sale. This is like 101. If you haven't heard this is the first time hearing that you don't present to when you're prospecting someone, where you been at, right? Don't be a fool. Use a tool, right? And the tool, all the tools, leaders are seeders. That's all you're doing, and the system is the soil. Use a tool. Invite them to an event, right? Invite them to an opportunity call. Put them in a chat. You have so many abilities to get them exposed by someone who's made a lot more money than you, who has the results, right? Yeah, I was guilty of doing this by myself too. And then the second this and how much leverage we have with the people, Mike and Tim's op call tomorrow night, invite to that. Plan yourself, right? It's so easy. This is it, guys. This is it. You got Zooms, live stories, posts, everything, right? And so this is it right here, right? You got these notes down. These are literally the 4 steps to go from Loserland to Winterland. How to get somebody in front of a tool, how to plant seeds, how to get there, right? And so for some of our leaders here, who have a rank, who have maybe put on some people, right? There's some people that are amazing at this, but the people that they sign up, none of the people on their team can sign anybody up, right? That's because you have to show people how to do this. But if you're standing over here on Winterland, somebody who's standing over here on Loserland, when they first look at this and they don't know these 4 things right here, right? Imagine all that information is not there. They're going to look and they're just going to see the objections. They're going to see all these dangers and why they can't do it, right? And so for your job as a leader, if all this information was very simple and straightforward, you already know it. Hopefully I outlined it in a way that like Fraser did for me, that just putting it simply in a 4-step process, like, wow, it is that easy. Wow. Why can't I teach that to somebody? And that's the whole point. So for those who had success and are standing on Winterland, your goal now is to be going across this bridge, getting your newest person, you say, hey, I'm going to take you across the bridge. I'm going to show you. First step, find, add, follow. Find, add, message, right? Find, add message. Second step, ask them if they're open. Third step, be prepared for objections. Fourth step, invite to a tool. Congratulations. You know how to invite to a webinar, and you invite 10 people to a webinar, you're platinum 150, right? You invite 30, 40 people to a webinar, you're going to be hitting platinum 600. That's it. That's it. Does this make sense, guys? Are you is this clicking, right? And I know that we had limited time, and we have a lot of amazing speakers coming up. But if anyone had any questions, now's the time to drop that in the chat. But like I said, as a leader, all you got to do is go back, find your newest person, take them across the bridge, show them the simple step of getting someone to a tool, planting the seed for them, and go back and walk again. Bring people over the bridge. Bring people over the bridge. Once you get across this and you stand over here and you've seen success, you've seen how easy this works. It's so easy to go back and teach somebody else this, is it not? Right? And so that was all I had for you guys. I know I wanted to keep it short. I could go on about this, but I do appreciate you. I'm going to stop sharing here, see if we have any questions, and then I will introduce the next speaker. Guys, yeah, that was it.
Really quick, Jordan, I just want to re-express what you said at the end there, and I hope someone caught it, was success is determined by if you're able to come from Winnerland, right? That's what Fraser was calling it. Just from where you're at, right? And go to Loserland and bring people with you, right? The reason why your team doesn't duplicate is because you don't go back across the bridge and bring them back. It's the whole entire, the goal setting example of sitting at the counter and waiting for your goal to come. If you have people around you, it's a lot easier. So if you've gotten to a position and you expect someone to get there without any help, the likelihood of that happening is not going to happen. So Jordan said it best at the end is, are you willing to walk across that bridge and bring them with you? The more that you can walk across that bridge, the more you can teach the information, the more you can duplicate, the more success that you're going to have in this business and in life as a whole, because the more people you have helped become successful. So I love that analogy. That is literally something that can be talked about for over an hour. And Jordan made it nice and simple, nice and sweet. So yeah, guys, if you have questions that, ask Jordan, but that was fire in the ending. And then Jordan, I'll let you introduce the next speaker.
Word. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. And Tim summed it up beautifully. It takes any moron can complicate something, right? It takes a real genius to simplify things, and that's the one thing I know. Tim is a straight up genius, taking on information and condensing it down to that, because he said exactly what I wanted to say, right? It's about how many people you can bring across that bridge, because that's what networking is. We're here to help people and empower people. That is it. That's the metaphor. So hopefully that showed you how easy this business really is and how easy it is for you to go back and show and help somebody. It's that easy, right? And so the next speaker, I'm super excited to bring him. He's been dancing. He's been jumping up and down. He thought he was going first on this, so he was getting himself all hyped, but he's still hyped. I know he's going to bring the gas, right? This is someone that really needs no introduction. I feel like a lot of us don't. But someone I'm really proud of, and I look at him and I look at his age, and I just think what I was doing at that age compared to what he is, right? He just makes me so proud to call him my brother. This kid's leading a huge team out there in Milwaukee, really leading the way, such an influence. Everyone's going nuts, right? So get this chat box going, get some A's pumping in the chat for the energy god, right? The hype master, Mr. Silly, but this guy's serious. He really is a boss at what he does. With that, Brady, take it away, my man. Tim's got to unmute you. These transitions, like.
There we go. Let's go. Wait. Turn your volume down. There we go. How's everybody doing today? I appreciate that so much, Jordan. Thank you so much for all of those nuggets. And it's so crazy that last point that we talked about is when you're at success, and when you can go back and bring people up to where you are. And that's the same thing I've heard Mike talk about it when you're having a conversation with somebody. You need to meet them where they're at and bring them up. When you're talking to someone, you need to meet them where they're at their energy, and then you bring them up to where yours is at. So that's one of the most crucial parts of really this business, is meeting people where they're at Loserland, at wherever they're at, and then bringing them with you to success. Because all of us here know that we have the best company, the best product, the best service, the best team. So you need to realize that and just bring people with you. It's like people are hating from outside the club when they never even been in. you know, so that you have to get them, you have to bring them into the club. You know, you ever have to sneak your friend into the club like we did this Saturday, Tim, like whatever, but we had to sneak me into the club because I wasn't in the club, you know, and I never got to see how cool it was in there until somebody brought me with, until somebody took me into the club with them, you know. So you have to bring people from where they're at and then take them to where you're at, because you know that where you're at is where they should be. You know, we have the sauce here, you know. So I want to talk about a few things here, you know, that more than 70% of people have less than $1,000 in their bank account. We all know this. We've heard these statistics. More than 85% of people are unhappy and unfulfilled at their jobs, you know. So everybody is looking for a new way. Everybody needs a new opportunity. Everybody is looking for something new, because everybody understands that the way that the system is made is not helping people succeed. It's not in people's best interest. Everybody knows that. People everywhere are looking for a way out of their job. You know, almost nobody is going to say, yeah, I love my job so much. Like, ask them if they didn't get paid, would they still go to the work tomorrow? Unless they're just pissed off and they just want to be right, and then they'll say yes. But 98%, 99% of people are going to say no, you know. And you have to understand that network marketing in itself is not perfect, you guys. This is not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect, but this is a way better opportunity. You know, nothing's so easy as if you don't have to work. Everything you have to put in work, or you're not going to get into the results. You know, with network marketing, it's a low barrier to entry. It's an easy access to the products. With most businesses, you have to put down tens of thousands of dollars just to get the name, just to get the brand. Just like you want to open up a Panera Bread, you got to spend tens of thousands of dollars just to get the company, and then you still have to do all of the work. You know, you're still self-employed. You don't even own a business, you know. But here you can get started for $200. You know, I was listening to the Mike Sotero, the trading call, he says, and I love what he said. He's like, oh, how much does this cost? He's like, $20,000. No, I'm just kidding. It's only $200. I'm like, damn, that's fucking savage, because you're bringing their thought up like, oh, this shit costs $20,000. And then you bring it down to like only 200. They're like, holy shit, that's a steal, you know? So a lot of people shit on MLM. A lot of people shit on network marketing. And why?
That's a scam, bro.
They say, that's a scam, bro. You're in a pyramid scheme. What the fuck is that shit? Like, you're getting scammed, bro. They're going to take all your money. That shit never works. And why do they think that? It's because people like us, we are perfect. We go around telling people, oh, you can copy and paste, make money off your phone, easy, make money in your sleep. Oh, all of this shit. You're just like telling people it's going to be so easy. But I don't know if anybody thinks this is like, has been an easy journey, like, let me know, because I know for myself, this has not been easy. It's not an easy journey to put in the grind and do all this stuff. So we have to stop telling people that it's going to be easy. We have to stop telling people that you can quit your job next month, or that you're going to be making you have to stop lying to people. Like, that's what you're doing, is you're lying to people, you know, and the biggest thing is we're afraid to let people know that there's risk in this business. You know, we're over promising and under delivering. You can't over promise and under deliver. You have to under promise and over deliver. You always want to make it seem worse than it is, so that when they come in with low expectations and we know what we have, so we can blast those out of the water. We can over deliver on them. You guys got to stop over promising on what we can do for people. You know, be realistic. People want you to be real with them. People don't like to be lied to. You know, in this day and age, everybody's getting lied to. You see, like, there's so much bullshit, fake news, all this stuff. We're all getting lied to. People just want to be real. Like, if you ever, like, I don't know, the last time I watched TV, you can see all of these ads for like health, like medication and prescriptions. What do? They spend 30 seconds, a minute, half their commercial is them telling you about the side effects. You may cause cancer, may cause diarrhea, may cause death, may cause like drowsiness, may cause all these things. And they're not lying to you because they put the responsibility into the customer's hands. They're telling you all of the things that could go wrong, but yet people still get the freaking prescriptions, even though they literally went for a minute long telling them all of the negative side effects that can happen to them. Because people do not care. People do not care. They just want you to be real with them. Stop hiding the potential risk. You have to let people know they're gonna lose money in the beginning. You know, it gets judged because we tell people it's easy. Everybody solves all of your problems. You know, people just want you to be real. Like I said, pass the responsibility of failure onto the people. Let them know that there's chance that they're not going to be an amazing trader, that it's going to take time, so that when they come in, they know that they're assuming all of the responsibility, you know? So ask permission to share and proceed with your info and your business and stuff like that. Don't overhype this, guys. Like I said, over 70% of people don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. So don't be going around telling people about 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, millions of dollars. People care about the extra $500 to $1,500 that they can make. That's what's important to people. You know, when you go around talking about 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, you're like making all this money. People think it's not real. They think that they can't get there. But when you talk about platinum 600, platinum 1000, making an extra couple $100 on trading, that's what gets people excited, because they're like, I could use an extra $1,000. I could use an extra $500, you know? So that's like, focus on that. Focusing on showing people make that extra $500 to $1,000 in a month or 2 or 3 if they're really putting in the work. Don't sell them on high numbers, sell them on the low numbers. That's what people really care about. You know, that's what's important. So I want to before I pass it off to the next speaker, I want to talk about some social media do's and don'ts about professionalism, because what I kind of just talked about was us being unprofessional and not being real with what the reality of this company is. So we need, as a team, as a group, we need to up our professionalism on when you're on a webinar. You need to have your cam on. You need to be taking notes. You know, you need to, like, professionalism is everything in this business, because if you're not professional, you're not going to attract professionals. If you want to bring in big leaders, big hitters, killers, all these people, you can't be freaking lounging around like when people are coming to your house, like barely cleaned up. Like, you have to be professional. It's everything in this business is about the way you carry yourself. That's literally the most important thing in this. It's a transference of energy. If your energy is low, you're not being professional. You can't meet somebody up here who's being professional, is high energy, you know? So with being professional on social media, don't talk about iMarkets Live. Don't say the name of the company. Don't talk about that, because then they're like, that automatically gets you, like, you're trying to get people into selling. You're selling them a company, selling them a product, and people don't want to be sold, you know? Don't talk about the cost. Never say sign up or recruit or join. Say get started. Don't talk about like signing up, recruiting. Like, that just sounds all salesy, all scammy. Like, you want to remove yourself from that negative connotation. Don't be positively negative. Remove negativity. Talk about what people should do, not what they shouldn't do. Don't be like, oh, fuck your 9 to 5, fuck your job, you're stupid, fuck your 401k. Don't talk about that. Yeah, because when you start shitting on people who have 9 to 5s, who are you bringing into your business? Really think about that. If you're just shitting on 9 to 5s, no, you just have literally every single person on your Instagram. Everyone has a job. Everybody who's not in this has a job. And if you're shitting on jobs, you're literally shitting on your entire customer. You think anybody's going to want to join your company? You think anybody's going to want to join you? No. You have to, instead of saying, I'm in 2020, I'm removing all negativity from my life. Say in 2020, I'm only bringing in positivity. Talk about the things that people should do. You don't be like, oh, you got to stop eating McDonald's. You got to stop eating fast food. You got to stop eating potato chips. No, just start talking about drinking smoothies. Talk about the things that they should do, not the things that they shouldn't do. Talk about things they should do, not that they shouldn't. Don't make people feel bad for not knowing how to trade, for not knowing about this company, for not knowing about Forex. Don't make people feel bad, because there was a point in time where you had no idea what Forex was. And if somebody was shitting on you the entire time they were giving a presentation, like, oh, bro, you don't even know about the 61.8 Fibonacci. You don't know about the harmonic scanner. Bro, you never took Gold Cup. Like, what? Like, when you're like, that's just like, you can't shit on people and expect them to want to do something for you. Like, whenever somebody shits on you, like, does that ever make you want to like do what they want you to do? No, you're like, fuck you. I'm just not going to do it now because you fucking shat on me for the last hour, you know? So I'm getting a little exaggerated, but so here's some do's. When somebody joins your team, you best be putting new trader alert, new family member, post a picture of them, because that gets people on your Instagram being like, oh, this person just joined them. Oh, this person just joined them. Oh, there's people joining their movement. Boom. And I've literally heard that, like, when we did that for somebody, they were like, holy shit, they got like 7 tags in their stories, and that just made them feel welcome, feel a part of the team. So we gotta get better at posting new trader alerts, posting promos, post motivation and quotes, post excitement, post energy, post on the people you're meeting at. When you meet up with somebody, post a picture of them, like sneak a little picture of business meetings, some shit, and just keep it fresh, keep it new people. Let people know that new people are joining and stuff like that, and you're always talking to new people. Talk about the charts and what you learn. Talk about your mentors. Talk about meetings and different calls and positivity. Talk about our brand, QC, the family. Post value, post stories. 3 things you should be posting on your Instagram every single day. That's your face, you working, and your lifestyle. If you can be posting post a quick little video, 30 seconds of your face saying something, man, I'm so grateful to be alive today. Boom, you're done. Then post a picture of you working. Boom, and then post a picture of your lifestyle, just something you're doing, going to the gym, going out to eat, whatever it is, because that lets people know that you actually have a life outside of this business. And that's what people want. You know, people want to do this plus something else, you know? So, I mean, that really kind of sums everything up. I mean, basically, guys, you just have to embrace the hate. Like, when somebody's like, you're in a pyramid scheme, blah, 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 like, yeah, I am. I'm in an MLM. All the smartest people in the world are. Grant Cardone, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Robert Kiyosaki, like all of these different people endorsing MLMs. Like, it's literally crazy. Like, we just get a bad rap from uneducated people, from people who have no idea what MLM is. They just heard from their uncle's cousin that he got scammed by selling some shampoo or some shit. Like, like legitimately, people just have a bad rap of MLM, and they literally have no idea why. Like 90% of the time when you ask somebody, hey, what's a pyramid scheme? They're like, like they just look at you dumbfounded because they didn't think you would actually ask them that. But yeah, I mean, that was some big nuggets that I got. It was just like posturing up and just like accepting the fact that you're in a network marketing company and being proud of it. You know, be proud of what we're doing in the movement we're creating, because nobody, like Jordan said, I'm just so proud to be with this family and with our mentors, because just seeing everybody, just seeing all the other companies and everything like that, and just seeing how many people they're bringing in, how little money they're making, and just their cultures and our team. I'm literally just so proud to be a part of that. So Tim, I don't know if you had any extra things to throw onto that before we introduce the next speaker.
No. I mean, that's perfect. And I'll go ahead and let you introduce Mike Brady. But I think it's crazy how you just said that, like somehow on a call today and someone was like talking about a pyramid or, you know, whatever. And I was like, man, just like what part? Break it down for me. And once it was broken down, the thought process, it made it so much easier for me to give the proper information, right? It was like, okay, like this is what, you know, this is why you think this way, and this is what we do. And so I think a lot of the times when you just break things down and, you know, you ask the right questions, right? You're asking the right questions. We tell you, you know, when we start a 3-way call, what do? We always ask questions. Why? Because we want to build a relationship so we know how to target that call. And I think that's like one of the biggest things right there. And just talking about social media, that's huge. No one wants to join someone where someone's always talking shit about them, right? It's people want – I just had a message today. Someone messaged me and they're like, man, you've been providing so much value. I've been watching you all year, bro. It was literally because I made that – I'm doing a Facebook call post. Like, and they're like, hey, I've been reading Get Rich Quick. I've been reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've been reading the 7, you know, he's been reading all these books that we've talked about. I was like, bro, like, you need to hop on my Facebook Live. No pressure. I just know that you're going to love what we do. And it was just that thing of providing value consistently. People are looking. People are watching. Today I've had 2 or 3 people message me like wanting to get started in 2020. It's insane. Like this 21-day challenge we've been doing is working. It's working like crazy. Like I cannot wait to sign 20 people up in January. And just doing what Brady said is going to make that possible for you. So Brady, I'll let you go ahead and introduce our next speaker, my man. You know who it is, El Mago. I'll let you take over on that one.
Let's go. That's an honor to be able to edify the GOAT for the fam. You know, everybody on here knows this man. And I'm sure that without this guy, none of you would pretty much none of you guys would be on this call right now doing what you're doing, just because of the ripple effect of impact that this man has had on each and every single one of our lives. And if you don't know this man personally, I reckon that you need to reach out to him and just get some of the value, because this man, he's just always so willing to help no matter what. At any given moment, like you can call him up and just ask for help. You know, a lot of times we get stuck in that our leaders are but they're just too busy with the people who put them to work. You know, so if you want your leaders to help you, put them to work. We love working. And this man, the El Mago, is a pure representation of a servant leader, of somebody who's so intensely dedicated, who's someone who's all in. Just watching this man, his methodology, the way he talks, the way he the way he walks, you can just see it in his stature. This man has absolutely no fear, and he will literally shit on believe. If you have fear about anything, he's just able to break stuff down in such a simplistic manner that makes you completely rethink of, like, you're like, wait, why was I even thinking like that? Like, did it make so this man has just created a massive ripple of impact, and just seeing where he's going and the amount of help he's provided me and everybody on this team. I am forever grateful for this man, for being our leader, for being the person who took us all from loser land and is bringing us all to success land. This man, I would not rather have any person or wizard, any other man, bring me across from loser land to success land. So without further ado, El Mago, Mike Navarrete, take it away for us, Papi.
Wow, guys. That was very, honestly, man, just thank you so much for that kind of introduction. One thing that Tim and I learned a year and a half ago was, honestly, the people who really find the most success, the people who are able to edify in such a way, and you feel the genuinity and you really feel the passion that not only that Brady has for everything that we do and how to serving people, but that level of gratitude, I think it's pretty hard to fake that. And I just want to send it back, man, send back the love and appreciation, because it's incredible seeing just the growth that Brady and Jordan have come in this space. And just like they've said, it's you know, you come from a position that maybe you see things differently, but because we were able to connect in a certain way, you know, they were able to do it also in their way, right? I can't force anybody to do anything, but I have to be able to connect with them in a specific way, right? So what I'm going to be going on about today is we're doing two parts to this, right? First part is something that I learned at GoPro, a lot of things I learned at GoPro. And then the second half is just some things that I've been jotting down about leadership that I want to share with everybody here. Because there's not one person here that's not a leader. Every single person here is a leader. There's just levels, right? There's levels to this. And then I want you also to understand that you have every single right to contribute, just like the person next to you, whether it's in person or whether it's online. Sometimes you may feel like because you have little experience in this space that you don't have a way of contribution, that you don't have a way to provide value. But the reality is that you did not begin, your life did not begin here, right? You've had whether 18 or 21 or 40 years of experience prior to this, right? Everything you've ever lived, whether it's your story, whether it's your mistakes, provide value to people now. And so I want everyone here to just take control, right? And understand that you provide value, right? You need to know that you are already a leader. You just have to be able to express it the right way. You just have to be able to understand yourself. So guys, a lot of you might be doing this. It might be your first month. It might be your first day. It might be your first year. It might be your third year. And what I need you to understand is that every single moment that you've experienced here so far is just your preparation period, right? And what I'm going to be talking about at this beginning is a lot of these things don't come from me, right? A lot of pretty much the majority of what I'm going to say comes from someone who's produced, right, hundreds of six-figure earners. But on top of that, someone who works with, I think it's over 1 million people globally. If I could be wrong, but I want you to really think about that. 1 million people globally that is in his organization, and there's no coincidence. You don't just like stumble upon 1 million people that join not just your leadership but your vision as well. And so I want you to understand this is millions of impact, millions of people. Think about how many years of lives that are changed there, the trickle effect that has, and that's what I want you to understand. And don't take this because I'm saying this. Take this because someone like that has done it, right? And they had it, and he had the time. His name is Darnell Self. In order to express these concepts. So he said his 3.5 years, his first 2.5 years were years of failure, but that was his season of preparation, right? So some of you right now, you're thinking, and I was the same way. You're thinking, I swear I'm learning all the right material, and I'm talking to a lot of people, but I just can't find at least your version of success. Right? And so every single day that passes by that maybe you don't hit that result that you're looking for, that's just a part of your preparation. That's your season of preparation. So every single day, right, you have to understand, maybe you didn't get that person started, right, but you added experience points to your life, right? Now either you know what not to do or you know what else I need to do more of, right? And one thing that Jordan was talking about is he walked you through, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you get to the winner's land. and so he told you exactly what to do. The difference is some of you want to do it 10 times and maybe you get 0 people started, but then you're like, okay, I'm over it, right? Other people do it 100 times and they get 1 person started, but guess what? They got a person started, you didn't, right? So literally the only thing that's holding you back is just the amount of times you're going to do the same things that will eventually work, right? The only thing stopping you is yourself. So one thing because I'm building upon Jordan, I'm building upon Brady because they said some things that really started getting me going. I'm really sparking. I have a lot of ideas, but I need to go over this stuff first so I can go over the second part. But one of the things that they said, and that Brady was talking about was really just the transparency in everything that you do and in the way, right, you entice people into it. Because I could be saying I make X amount of money, but you have to think about what level of frequency am I bringing in then, right? Because I'm just bringing in someone that's focused on money, right? And maybe what if I'm just saying bullshit, right? Some people are like, yeah, all you have to do is, copy and paste and this is just successful. Like everyone here knows that's not true. Everyone here knows that's not true, right? To an extent, you can find success, right? I'm not saying you can't find success doing that, but that doesn't make you successful, right? And that's a key difference because success, embodying success is a mindset, right? Finding success once, that doesn't mean it's a habit. So your mistakes, your vulnerability, that's what's going to allow you to identify with people. Okay, guys, he said, this is straight from him. He said, mistakes you make allow you to identify with people, right? If maybe your posts are like, amazing, because that obviously is attracting people, but talk about the real, right? Talk about the things you've gone through, the things you've suffered. John Cuevas actually just did an amazing job at this. I think his post was today or yesterday. And he talked about like, I thought I was this shit. And then I quit my job. Turned out I wasn't, went and got it. And then he just talked about his story a little bit. And honestly, I saw engagement went up. I saw more people relate to it, and people were just like, dude, that's actually dope that you just did that, right? You know, people see like, okay, he went from here to here to here to here. And so mistakes are allow you what makes mistakes you make allow you to identify with people. And so guys, you just have to connect, right? Connection is what matters. Connection, right? And when we're doing this, you have to understand, like, he went about, Darnell went into this insane story about how he wasn't gonna be able to make it to a party, or someone was gonna be able to make it a party. Eventually he did, he was able to get to his wife's birthday, and then he didn't just show up as himself, he showed up as a server, right? And they didn't even realize it was him, right? They didn't even realize that he wasn't even there, and he was there in a costume, but he was disappointed because they didn't even notice, right? And so how many of you are just not even noticing the people that are, you know, putting in that work and putting in that not just the work and their activity, but that are getting some things. So don't allow people to kind of get overshadowed. Create awareness with everyone you come in contact with, right? Everybody, every single person, right? And one of the biggest things when it comes to creating awareness, you know, we say that and it's like, what does that mean, right? There's a level of acknowledgement, right? It's not just like you walk past someone or someone says hi to you, and I've done this too. And there's something that I work on every single day. But someone says hi to you, they're so excited to meet you maybe, or you know, and this has happened to me. So I'm saying it, like, I've traveled across whatever, and they're like, yo, like, my dude, I'm so stoked to meet you. Like, thank you for everything. And I'm like, yeah, of course, because guess what? I'm not present right there in that moment. It's happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, me too. Like, and I'll just say things like, my subconscious is running, but then 5 minutes later, I don't even know who I just talked to. I don't remember their face. I definitely don't remember their name, right? And so how does that person, like, that could be a lifelong connection I could eventually make, but I just missed out on that opportunity. And not only that, it's like there was there's a moment for them, right? And that moment could have taken them to something else, right? Maybe that acknowledgement, maybe just being someone that has found success, and then being able to just be like, dude, like, awesome, thank you for everything. And all of a sudden I just go, hey, cool, what's up, man, see you later. They're all like, oh, wait, turns out this guy that I really actually looked up to, this guy's just kind of a piece of shit, right? So like, it's our responsibility to have awareness for everybody, right? For your Uber driver, the person who's bringing food to the table, right? The bus boy, at the hotel who's just spinning the doors for you, valet person, the person maybe who mows your lawn or whatever, whatever it might be. Like, guys, everyone's important. Every single person's important. And when you're able to really have these people feel like you're at least there, right? That's so important. Just acknowledging that you actually understand and acknowledge their existence, because you don't know who needs that. You really don't. Like, you'll never know what someone's feeling or thinking, but at least that awareness is something that sometimes, like, we overshadow because we're so busy thinking about what to do next, instead of just thinking about what should I be doing right now. And so what I want to go over is John C. Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership, right? So this is where you can start to structure your notes, because you guys know how I talk. I'm like here and over there and over there and over there. This is going to be structured, right? So remember, 5 levels of leadership. Level 1, position. So this is where people will follow because they have to. So level 1, position. People will follow because they have to. This is where it's like this, right? Hey, this is your Go Live educator. He knows what's going on. And then someone tells you exactly what, like, he knows what's going on. Just follow him. And you're like, okay, cool. That's level 1 of leadership, their position, right? For example, Go Live educator, someone you don't know who I am, right? And then let's say Cody's like, yo, Tyler, this is the educator, follow his steps, you will be successful. Tyler's like, great, right? So there's a level of leadership, some respect there, but that's as far as it goes, right? There's respect, you listen, you do, but that's as far as it's ever going to go. And the reality is this, right, guys? There's going to be different levels with other people. Like Cody and I might have a leadership relationship. Like I might have a level of 1 with him, but I might have a level 5 with Alex, and I might have a level 3 with Caesar, right? So people are going to be different, and you're going to be at different levels at different times. But so this is entry level of leadership. It's just position. right? If I've never built a relationship with anybody, if you never even wanted to follow me, right? This is just entry level, first level, right? People will follow because they have to, right? And so level 2, permission. People want to follow you. Okay, so now we're shifting a little bit, right? Now you want to follow me, and or you want to follow Jordan, or you want to follow Brady or Alana because this is something that you've connected with them, right? Now, since you want to follow, I'm able to say things to you, and you're going to receive them because you want to receive them, right? If someone walks in to an op call, right, they don't even want to be there, and I'm saying, boom, gem after gem after gem after gem, it doesn't matter because they don't even want to follow me, right? Maybe in the past I did something to them, right? Or I just didn't acknowledge them. They don't want to follow me, so it doesn't matter what I say. And then Jordan, who they respect, right? And they've been watching on Instagram and he's been consistent. He says the same exact thing. He will find success because he's someone who wants to be followed. So this is the shift, right? There's different levels to this, right? And so remember, level 1, position, people will follow because they have to, right? People will follow because they have to. It's like a teacher, right? You know, sometimes you want, let's say you're in high school, you go to the class, you don't even like that person, but if you don't do what they say, you're going to get a bad grade, right? That's level 1. Level 2, people want to follow you. It's like, you know, you go on YouTube and you watch, whether it's Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, you want to follow them. You listen, you're more open to information, right? Level 3, production. Level 3, production. These are people that you're going to follow based on results, right? So there's, again, another push in belief, right? Like why? Yes, level 3, production. People will follow based on results. So for example, why do you follow Chairman 500, Matt Rosa, and Jason Brown? Why do you follow Jordan Morgan, Zachary Hogan? They have results. And because they have results, that now allows you to feel, okay, this is possible, this is doable, I'm going to follow them until I get there, right? This allows them now, again, they have a deeper relationship with you, right? It doesn't mean that you've connected on an emotional level, but because they have those results, you have that proof, you have that energy that you're receiving, and that you know, okay, this is someone not only do I want to follow, but they have the results on top of that. So guys, there's going to be moments where, you know, you might be a level 3 with someone, but you've lost level 2 with them, right? Maybe here's the thing, like you could have the results, right? You could have the results. Someone can be, you know, making $1 million every single month. They can be the most skilled, right? So that's level 3 position, or that's level 3 production. But guess what? Maybe they did some shady shit, and now the level 2 leadership position, which is permission, now you don't even want to follow them. So each level, you have to be connecting, right? You have to layer these levels. Because if all of a sudden I get a lot of results and then my ego goes off the roof, you don't really want to follow me anymore. You don't care for me. You're like, oh, yep, this guy, as soon as he got good at this, he just started changing, right? Now he's got all this ego. He thinks he's the shit, right? So there's levels. Now, level 4, this is personal development. Level 4, personal development, right? People will follow because of what the leader has done for them, right? So now there's real connection, right? Now there's real connection where, you know, and this is now where, okay, you know, maybe you had a one-on-one and it was a 2-hour drive and Jessica went there for you. You're like, damn, they drove 2 hours when they had 300 people and just to do this one-on-one with me, right? Maybe you had a bad day, right? And it was noticeable. And, you know, they called you and they said, hey, what's going on, right? Or maybe all of a sudden, like, it just depends on, now there's a level of deeper connection because they're following you because not of your results, not just because they want to, and not because they have to, but because you've done something for them, right? And this is a point in a relationship where they didn't do it because they want you to see more results. They didn't do it because they have to. They didn't do it because they want you to follow them. They did it because it's what's supposed to be done, right? They did it because that's the moral obligation. And so when you're at this position, at this level 4, which is personal development, you remember you have to be able to continue to have level 3, level 2, and level 1. When they're all layered, you are reaching, like, these are like 7 figure incomes, right? Because yes, you have results, but on top of that, the reason you're continuing to grow and to multiply, right, is because you're connecting. In the beginning, I said connection matters. So you're actually connecting. It's just not this idea of like, you're here and then you say things. It's that you're here, you say things, you mean them, and you act on them. That's the difference, right? And level 5, this is the pinnacle, right? This is for us, right? Alex Morton, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown. This is who they are and what they represent. That's why we follow, because of just who they are and what they represent, right? You see that person and you're like, this person just embodies purity, embodies class, embodies just servant leadership, right? Like when they walk into a room, like, everyone's like, yeah, that's that man. Like, that's the kind of person that just lightens up a room, right? Where no one has anything but just, not even just good things to say, right? But everyone's felt that, right? It's that high frequency where it's like that frequency of consciousness of joy, right? Of love, of empathy and compassion. Those are the kind of people that are at this pinnacle is level 5. I think someone said they didn't see it. Level 5 pinnacle. It's who you've become, right? Someone with high levels of belief, high levels of awareness, and high levels of frequency. So it's kind of like that person that everyone's just like, man, you got to meet this person. Like, yo, this is the best person ever. Like, that's the kind of person who we're talking about at level 5 is a pinnacle. And what happens is, guys, like, some of you are going to be 1, some of you might be 4, but you don't have 2 and 3 down. So they're all going to layer. You want to build upon these levels, because that's the best way you're going to be able to do these things. So that was kind of the first part of what I wanted to talk about. One of the things that he said at the end, that I want to share with you guys, and definitely write this down, right? Like 2 things. So he said, somebody is waiting on you, and this moment exists for you, right? May you repeat level 5, please? Yeah. So level 5 is pinnacle, PINNACLE, right? That's the top of the top. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, guys, write this down, right? Freedom is always available. You just choose to follow the path that's been done and conformed, right? Freedom is always available. You just choose to follow the path that's been done and conformed, right? And so a lot of us have gone through this, and I don't think I'm going to explain this too much, but it's like the traditional, why did you even go to college? You didn't know what you wanted to do in your life. You didn't know what fulfills you, but that's just the status quo, so you went, right? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to go. I'm just saying, why did you do what you do, right? So a lot of people are miserable and don't live the life they want to live, but that's a choice that you're making, right? It is a decision to be unhappy. It is a decision to not follow your dreams, right? It is a decision every single time. And so with that being said, guys, you need to think about this, right? Good leaders build relationships, but great leaders get things done with the relationships they built. Okay, write this one down. Good leaders build relationships, but great leaders get things done with the relationships they built. This ties back with what Jordan says, right? You created and established such a great, flow with someone, amazing conversation online, and then that's great, right? But guess what? by you not opening up their minds to what you have, right? You are now creating a limiting life for them, because you know you can take them to where they want to be. You know you can give them what they deserve to have, but you choose not to do that. That's your choice now. You've built the relationship so you know you can serve them. So by having the relationships and then not doing anything with it, you're doing them a disservice, right? You're doing them a disservice. So this is probably supposed to be short, but time isn't real. So guys, there's a couple more things I'm going to get into that I'm just going to continue to flow into leadership. I was flying last night, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just in my zone. So guys, when we're talking about leadership, this doesn't mean you need to have 18 people on your team, 30 people on your team, 300 people on your team, right? What you need to understand is that leadership is something that you embody, right? Leadership is just a sense of being. And so why are you going to wait? Why are you going to wait to have a lot of people to work with to become a good leader? Right? Does that make any sense? Why are you waiting to gain these skill sets and to learn this information and to be on these calls until you have a team? So a leadership's ability determines level of effectiveness, right? So leadership's ability is determined by levels of effectiveness. If you can't be effective, then your leadership abilities are going to drop, right? So sometimes what happens is you need to be able to delegate for the greater good. Sometimes you need to know where to travel at the right times for the greater good. So that effectiveness, that's a leadership ability that you need to have. And one thing that over time you're going to understand is that the true measure of leadership is that influence, right? The true measure of leadership is influence. And remember, this is a true measure, right? So how well we're able to really influence the people. And remember, if you influence someone, that's not bad. Influencing is not a bad thing to do, right? You need to be able to influence people because you are the mentor, right? You are the mentor. You're not a dictator, but you're the mentor. So people get started because they want to be guided by you. And so if all of a sudden you feel like you're not in cohesion, you're not in flow with the people that have gotten started with you, your leadership levels need to go up, right? Your listening skills probably need to go up. Your level of responsibility with yourself and your people need to rise. So the true measure, like if you want to really understand, right, your leadership skills, it's going to be because of the influence that you have. Right? It doesn't have to be influence with people on your team. It also goes out to people, influence on people you don't know. How you can open someone's mind, that's a way of gauging where your influence is, right? You need to be able to master the skill of opening people up. And we always say, yeah, man, we got to close them, right? I think Jason Brown is the first person I heard say this. He's like, you guys are too busy closing people when you should be opening people up, right? And so to me, it's like when you are able to open people up, because like Brady said earlier, right? You meet them where they are, and then you pull them up with you, right? That's influence right there. One thing that I know there's a lot of you here are amazing at, and you don't get discouraged because you've understood that leadership develops daily, not in a day, right? And I've seen that in a lot of people, some people that I'm like, man, how's this person like, if it was me, maybe I would be kind of discouraged, and they stay at it and they stay at it and they stay at it. And then of course, a week later, they break through, right? And it's because they understand it almost ties back to the process. Like leadership develops daily, not in a day. And as long as you keep that in mind, you're gonna, it's like with your trading, like you're gonna know and understand that you've already got what you want, right? Time just has to go by. And since like I said earlier, time isn't real, this should be smooth, right? This should be effortless. So when you want to understand, okay, well, how do I know if I'm a good leader? What does that really mean? Ask yourself, okay, well, how am I adding value? And then what does that mean? Are you serving people, right? That's like, if you feel like, I don't know if I'm a good leader, like what am I supposed to do? Say, okay, what does adding value mean? To serve people, right? Serve people, whether it's through your Instagram, whether it's in person, whether it's holding the door open for someone, whether it's, stacking the plates when you have your food so the server can just take it and just have a smooth way back. Like things like just serving people. That's just what value means in this network marketing space. And remember, why do you get paid a lot? Is because you're able to add value to a lot of people, right? You have a skill set that other people may not have, and the skill to provide value and serve people is one of the most highly regarded skills on the planet. Why do doctors get paid so much? But guess what? I'm not saying that you're better or not than a doctor, but what I am saying is that you have more time than one. So become the doctor for people's emotional intelligence, for people's emotional health, for people's financial health, for people's spiritual health. Because guess what? That's what you do out here. Like you're about to become like therapist, babysitter sometimes. Like you're gonna get 2 a.m. calls and people are gonna be crying. And so yeah, that's kind of what happens. Pedro, you're saying, is there a better way to expose value, Mike? I feel like sometimes I talk too much or go everywhere. I think there's a structured way to provide value. And so one thing that I think all of us that work at GoPro notice is people kept it simple. They said, here are the 3 things. Here are the 5 things, or like ABC, right? Give people something to follow, and then they'll be able to engage and receive the information more effectively. And that's, I think, one of the best things you can do. And that's something that I for sure want to work on, because you could say all of these amazing things, but if people can't follow it nicely, they might miss on everything that you just gave them, right? So that's why, you have the video and then you have the caption and it goes 1, then whatever nugget that you have or gem you want to drop, and then 2. So that's what we're in now. We're not taught very well growing up, so we have to do things very, very simple for people. But when and a lot of you, some of you are like, I just want to talk to a million people, and then eventually something's going to happen. That level of trust, right? The trust is really a foundation for leadership. And like I talked about earlier, level 1 of leadership is just that's the person you're supposed to follow, right? And then following that, that's not where you want to be to reach those high income levels, to reach those mass amount of people that follow you. You need to be able to create a foundation of trust, right? Because if you don't trust me to take you to where you want to go, you're not going to stay for very long, right? That's the reality. You have to have that with people. You have to develop trust. And when you people are naturally going to follow leaders that are stronger than them. You don't have to be the best, but if in a way you just know a little bit more, or you have a little bit more skills, they're going to follow you. People here, you're like, man, well, I'm not ranked yet, or I haven't made that much money trading. Guess what? You've been in a day more. You've read you've watched one more video. You've read a bit more personal development. You are a leader. People will follow you because you either know more, have applied a little bit more, or have been exposed to a little bit more. That now gives you leverage. That gives you ability to lead people. Guys, grab control to what is yours. Stop giving yourselves excuses because you don't want to grow. You want it, you say you do, but you don't want to do what's necessary, right? People want to succeed, but they don't want to go through the process. Someone said that, right? I did not make that up. But people want to succeed, but you don't want to go through the process to get that success. And so, when I know this is because there's a lot of people from different places, and you're like, man, I want to attract a hitter, right? You're like, man, I want to attract someone that's coming here and is just going to blow this up, and they're going to match my frequency. But the reality is this: are you the person that you want to attract, right? But it's not just in one moment of time are you that person. Have you become and have you embodied that person, right? You're like, yeah, man, I want to go chairman 10. Are you doing chairman 10 things every day, right? Are you feeling that chairman 10? Are you feeling that chairman 500 every single day, right? Because once you feel it, right? Once you've really, really connected with who you, this whole time, you close your eyes, you manifest, you affirm, you envision, but the only thing that you're missing is accepting that that's already who you are, and then apply, right? Because you envision it, you see it, you feel it, you touch it, you smell it, you lick it, you apply all senses to the person that you wanted to become, but you keep forgetting to become him. You've done every single thing, right? In your brain, you've created this person for you. All that's left is step into that being, right? You already know, you just created it. Remember, you create your reality. So step into your reality. So remember, there's going to be people that want to do everything, right? Because you maybe subconsciously you want the attention, maybe not, but only secure leaders give power to others. Only secure leaders give power to other people, right? Only secure leaders allow someone else to provide value, to exchange information, to be trusted, to contribute, right? The securest of leaders are going to be able to do that, right? But you only become a secure leader by breeding them, right? By doing what you want to see, right? You have to do what you want to see, otherwise it's not going to get done, right? It's like, man, why isn't these people doing this? Well, are you? You know, and it's true. Like, and I say this because a lot of these things, like, I need to do better. I'm not saying it's because I do all of these things. I'm saying this because it's things that I've thought of or things that I've learned, and together we will be applying them. So when you start this and you accept that you are a leader, right? People buy into the leader, then the vision. So when you have accepted your leadership level, right? Once you have become that, then the vision you paint is automatic, right? The vision that you push out, that is already done, right? Everyone here is will and is following this. And so, guys, you need to understand, when we're doing, this might hurt some feelings, but that is not accomplishment, right? Activity is not accomplishment. It's not, right? And what that means really is this, right? Are you doing something for the sake of being active, or did you prepare your mind and prepare your actions to do something with intention? If maybe that went over some people's heads, right? Activity isn't just something that like is just a sake for doing something. It's like, you know, you have to do something, right? Already prepared and with intention. So if, let's say tomorrow, like, do I know what's happening tomorrow? Okay, no, tomorrow comes, and then I have to spend all this time figuring out what I need to do. Now I spent time figuring out what I need to do, but that's just activity. That's not productivity, right? But if today I already set myself up for tomorrow, when tomorrow comes, I'm present the whole time, right? Because I know exactly what I need to do every single hour, every single minute, right? I go into the event and it's crushed because I already knew what I was going to do. And now I was able to provide the solid energy and intention to give value, right? And so when we're doing this and when we're speaking, and when, you know, we always want to be leaders all the time. We always want to drop nuggets and gems, and we want to be doing all these crazy things all the time. But the reality is, when to lead is just as important as what to do and where to do it, right? There's moments where you need to shut up and not say anything and let people explain or talk or make the mistakes, right? When to lead is just as important as everything else, guys, right? Sometimes, and I know some of you will notice, like, I'll just wait for everybody to talk. I'll just wait for everybody to talk. There's all this contribution being done, and I'll speak at the very end. And then we wrap it up, right? So knowing when to speak is super important, because some people just need to walk themselves through their thoughts, walk themselves through everything in order to get to their conclusion themselves, right? And that alone, just being able to just listen and know when is just as important. It's always saying the right things, right? Listening to the right things is just as important. And so when we're looking to add growth to everything that we're doing, you're looking to right? You're adding growth. You'll lead followers. So to add a growth in the team, you're going to lead followers. Awesome. But to multiply, you need to lead leaders, because then the leaders, what can they do? They can add followers. And when they really want to multiply, they will lead leaders, right? And it's just going to keep evolving just like that. So anyways, guys, at the end, if you want to understand and if you want to really be able to measure, right, and just see, okay, am I really leaving lasting value? That's going to be measured by your succession, right? A leader's lasting value is measured by succession. So with that being said, guys, I'm gonna pass it back, and I'm gonna send it to someone who I've seen really, man, and I think embody accountability and embody what is the right things to do. Someone who will tell anybody and will check anybody, because the reality is that what's right and what's supposed to be done is always what's important. Someone with the craziest dedication, work ethic, discipline that I've seen in a very long time. I haven't seen this person, I think, miss a webinar since the beginning of this person joining this. Someone who goes as hard as I think I've seen anybody. And that work ethic really just honestly puts me in my place, and it gets me just like fired up, because I know like there's so much more we could be doing. There's so much more that we could be giving, and there's really a lot of sacrifices that we could be making. Someone that just makes a decision and doesn't go back on it, and then allows the universe to give back in a different way. So with that being said, guys, please, and Tim, can you unmute, please give it up for Cesar Contreras, who's about to really break some nice things down for you guys.
Yo, what's good? Real quick, dropping 7 to my boy Mike. I want to say thank you, man, for everything you do. You're an inspiration, man. You and Tim, man. Both of you guys, killing it. All right. So, check this out. You guys are in luck today. So, I have 24 pages of notes and 2 40-minute audios. And I was able to condense it all in 3 hours. So, oh, y'all laughing. Now y'all better call off work tomorrow. We're going 3 hours. Call your boss up right now. So real quick, I'm gonna touch up on some things. The main thing that I got out of this was pick one thing that you've learned from GoPro and take action on it immediately, right? And I noticed that, for example, Tim, with this whole Facebook webinar, like literally talked about it, and during our lunch break, literally ready to put it in action. So that's something that I took from it, and that you can take from anything, which is pick one thing that you have learned, right? And you can take action on it, because a lot of times we receive information and we just have so much things that we want to do, right? We end up just not doing anything. So again, real quick, after we're done here today, pick one thing that you've learned and implement it yesterday, right? Implement it yesterday. So there was 2 things that I'm gonna talk about that I kind of did, and I kind of did it for the team. And let me explain. So there are 2 things that why people would want to join us, right? For more time or for more money, right? That's what they want to join us, right? Lack of time or lack of money. That's usually people's problem. So there are 2 videos that I kind of posted up recently. And again, I did it to edify the team, right? So my first video, I kind of took advantage of Eric Ward. He was speaking about 6-figure earners, right? And again, you can check my Instagram. It's like 3 videos back. Anyways, and he said, stand up all my 6-figure earners, right? So as soon as he said that, I said, well, it would look kind of scammy on our end, right? If we go ahead and say, hey, check it out, man, Mike and Tim, 6-figure earners, you need to get in this quick, right? It's gonna look a little bad, but I didn't say it. Neither did anyone on my team say it. So as soon as he said 6-figure earners stand up, whoop, my phone came out, and my phone stood up too, right? And I started recording. That's all I did. I let my boy Eric do all the work for me, right? So I just started recording on Mike and Tim, and he's just talking about, I'm a 6-figure earner, stand up. Is there anything that they can't do that you can't? Is there anything special about them besides the money, right? He makes a little joke. Genius. I didn't say it. All I did was record. So that video that I posted was to show people that, hey, look, my mentors, they're getting it. They're making 6 figures. I didn't have to say it. Somebody else did. Perfect. So if you guys want to use that video to leverage them, hey, great, right? So that's one thing about the money. Another thing that I did for the team as well is I had an idea to, again, people join this business for money or time, right? or happiness. You can say time and being happy. I decided to go around the group and say why we trade, right? So we did. We all quickly, and you can check my Instagram on that. We all made a quick little post on why is it that we trade, right? Because people want the culture, right? So that's what I try to portray, is the culture. And what ended up happening was I also had a vision of, as soon as we did why we trade, I ended up using the so as I was before I was rudely interrupted, I portrayed the aspect of us being happy. So literally all my clips, I wasn't even I was about to say the T-word. I wasn't even going to, y'all see, y'all got me thinking now, man. I wasn't even going to make that second part, but literally, as I was sitting on the plane, every video that I was scrolling through, somebody was smiling. You know what I'm saying? Literally, somebody was smiling about something. So I said, let me throw this together. So literally threw 50 different clips of everybody smiling, you know? And I believe that that's something that people wanted to see, right? They want to join this community for the smiles, right? Because either you're making a lot of money and you're miserable at your job, or you're not miserable at your job, but you're not making money, right? So those are two things that I posted about to kind of tackle both aspects of what we do. So you go ahead and if you want those videos, I can send them to you, or you can just tag my videos or whatever you want to do. Another thing, since you guys pretty much covered everything, I'm just going to kind of touch up on some things that kind of stick out to me. Okay. Don't underestimate certain people on your team, my leaders on your team, because they're not ranked yet. So a lot of times we look for the person that we believe is going to be our ticket to chairman, right? So we're looking through Instagram and we see somebody with a lot of followers. So we say this is the one, right? But you're neglecting that one person that's been there, right? That has been showing up. Because all you need to, you don't need, write this down. Do not confuse popularity with leadership, right? Do not confuse popularity with leadership, because you only need two things to succeed. And that's, you need to be coachable and hungry, right? So don't overlook that person that's been showing up, you know what I'm saying? And just doesn't have that one skill yet, you know, but he's waiting. He's sitting there patiently waiting for you to pick him, right? But you overlook him every time because you see that guy with Instagram followers having 20,000, 40,000 followers because that's your ticket to chairman. You see what I'm saying? So just take a step back and check the team out, because everything that you guys need to succeed is sitting in this room already, you know what I'm saying? So don't stress out about finding that one person that's going to get you the chairman. Instead, help build that person on your team that's already there, you know what I'm saying? Help build that one person up. So I just want to touch up on that real quick. Another thing, let's see here. All right, another thing is I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, all right? So just be honest with yourselves, all right? And be honest with your prospects, okay? You don't need to make up all this hype about what's not real, right? And the biggest part is like I was saying, just be honest with yourself, because we've all made mistakes, right? We've all made mistakes. And there's a reason why we are not where we want to be, okay? And it's not because we lack the knowledge or because we lack the mentorship, right? Because everything we need to succeed is already sitting in this room. See what I'm saying? We have the knowledge and we have the tools to succeed. So why are we not doing it? I believe it's something bigger than external. I think it's something internal, right? And we need to forgive ourselves, right? We need to forgive ourselves for not showing up. We need to forgive ourselves for the lack of performance, right? We need to forgive ourselves for the mistakes that we've made, right? Because this is something that I struggled with. You know what I'm saying? I didn't forgive myself for certain things that I've done, and it was kind of holding me back from kind of going to the next level. So I want all of you too to forgive yourselves, because again, we're not where we want to be because we don't lack the knowledge or the tools, because they're all here. It's because something bigger than that. So I want you guys to forgive yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because in honesty, we all deserve this. Every single one of us has a reason, has our why. We all deserve this. We are all capable. We are all worthy, right? Because going into 2020, you have to leave all this negative behind. Leave it in 2019, right? Because you will never finish a race you don't think you can finish, right? You will never finish a race you don't think you can finish. So with that said, I'm gonna let the big dogs talk. That's all I had to say for this one. Thank you guys for listening to me. So this next speaker, I just want to say I only met him a couple times, and after this trip, he became like my brother. We shared an experience, we shared a bond that pretty much it happened quick, but it was very deep, and I'm very thankful for having this person in my life, man. So this next speaker, I want to thank you for being you, being honest. Love you, brother. I want to introduce my boy, Sean.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Sean, thank you, Caesar, for the introduction. I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful for Mike, Tim, and Nancy for showing me this opportunity and now being part of this team, Quantum Creations. And I'm going to keep this short. All you guys, I want to hear from Armando, Nancy, and Tim. So I'm going to keep this very short. And pretty much I'm going to talk about my favorite part of the actual GoPro, which was Lou Holtz. He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's 82 years old, so his wisdom and wiseness is out of this world. And he led 6 different teams to Pro Bowl games, which says a lot. It means that he went to 6 different teams with different people and led them to become winners. So what his success has gone to is what I'm going to tell you right now. I hope everyone put this on your notes, everything, because these are not what I wrote. These are what he does in his life. And I'm new to this, so this won't be the best talk, I guess, I could do, but I'm going to be the best I can be right now. So first of all, the first thing he talks about is goal setting. And the first thing he talks about is decide what you want. So making a decision on exactly what you want. You want to be a chairman? Do you want to be a 6-figure trader? Make a decision, a firm decision, what you want. And I feel like this is such a huge thing, to have a goal and having a direction and a focus that you want to be striving for. And when I go more into that, I want to think about, I don't know if you guys know this guy, but Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon. One of the things he says is he only makes 3 good decisions every day, and that's it. It's just 3 focus, and everything else is not in the back of his mind. He just wants to focus on 3 things and make sure he gets those 3 things done. So when you're going for your goals, I think you guys should all strive for 3 things every day that could go towards your Forex account, maybe networking, recruiting, anything to get you one step closer to your goals that you decide to do. After he said decide what you want, you have to make sacrifices. And 2 different sacrifices he explained upon: financial sacrifice and personal sacrifice. For financial sacrifice, what are you willing to put in? What kind of money could you put in to get the results that you want? This could be a book. This could be a course. This could be compounding your trading account to, make more money. What are you willing to sacrifice in your bank account to get to your goals that you are trying to get? The other one is personal sacrifice. So personal sacrifice would be the action you have to take and the things you need to cut out of your life. So things like, it could be TV, it could be social media, it could be hanging out with your friends. These things, if it's not going to your goals, I feel like you shouldn't be doing it. Obviously, you should have some fun every now and then if like your family or something occasion happens. But if you really, really are dedicated, I feel like you need to sacrifice even that if you really are dedicated to your decision of the goal you're striving for, which is either chairman or a six-figure account. And then after that, he says skills you need to acquire. What are the skills you need to acquire to get to that goal? So that could be following Mike and finding out exactly how to be an institutional trader so you could be a six-figure trader on your Forex account. It could be following Tim and looking at his calls and finding out how to be a chairman just like him. It could be watching Matt Rosa and understanding what he did to become a Chairman 500, which I actually learned at GoPro. He actually told us, Mike, the whole Vegas team, that pretty much he became a Chairman 500 because he did events. Events. He said that's the focus to become a Chairman 500. So if anybody wants to be the greatest in the room, you need to have events, you need to be a public speaker, and you need to shake the room up, all right? So those are skills you need to acquire. You need to be a good public speaker. You need to be confident in who you are. You need to just know how to recruit, use tools and show people about this opportunity. You need to know how to trade. You need to mark up your charts every day or, weekly to know what's going on throughout the week. Next, getting rid of bad habits. So this is another part he said, you need to get rid of bad habits. So this could be from something simple as being angry all the time, or it could be something as dumb as like having a bad sleep schedule. But bad habits could be, I'm trying to think of some bad habits. It could be something simple. Yeah. Hopefully you guys see me. All right, I'm not gonna say the T word again. All right, yeah, eating out. That's a good one. So like going to restaurants and just getting food randomly. Another one is watching TV or Netflix casually all day instead of actually working on your Forex account. It could be texting and just hanging out with friends for no reason, actually having no value hanging out with them. Yeah. Another one could be, and then the last one for goal setting is who I need to work with, which is pretty easy when you're in a group like this with Mike and Tim and Nancy. You already know who you need to work with and like follow their directions and actually be coachable and do exactly what they tell you. They already are Chairman 10. They already have six-figure accounts. So just follow the people who have your results and just make sure you get it together. Yeah. All right. The other part he said is the 3 rules for life. So that was just for goal setting. This is 3 rules for his whole life. This is the 82-year-old winner. All right. So this guy knows what he's talking about. The first thing he says is make good choices. So making good choices could be as simple as just working on your account, working on recruiting, instead of going and partying it up during the weekend, instead of, doing stupid stuff. I feel like the biggest thing is definitely focus. And the opposite of focus is distractions. So if you're not focused, you're just having too many distractions around you. So cut off the distractions to make sure you get to the place you want to be. Next one is pick yourself up and believe in yourself. So what he said is like, whenever you fail, just pick yourself up. Or even better, embrace pain. And it may sound weird, but like if you embrace pain and you have the paradigm shift of like enjoying pain, I feel like it'll be a lot more easier for you than thinking more positive about things, because you're thinking the opposite of being like positive about your goals and stuff. And when you embrace the pain and understand what's going on and like, oh, they rejected me, and absolutely like take it all in, it's a different experience than being super positive about something and not getting it because you're too attached to it. And your emotional level for that attachment is so strong that you don't embrace the pain because you're expecting something else and you were too attached to the outcome than actually embracing what's going to happen to you throughout your life. So, and then the next part is do everything at your best ability. So whatever you do, try to go the extra mile, try to put 100% effort into it, and truly dedicate yourself to getting to that point of like getting, oh my God. That's tough. All right. So, yeah, be the best of your ability. So, yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So next up is Armando, the boy, Mondo. He's about to go up next. Let's go.
Yo, what's good? What is goody? How's everybody doing? Let me bust up my notes real quick. All right, perfect. So first of all, I know we've been going at this for an hour and a half now. So I'm not going to keep you guys too long. But however, I am going to shift the energy a little bit, okay? Because it's essential because of the next person that I'm about to talk about as far as the notes and the conversations that I had. I feel like the realizations that were opened up and the paradigm shifts that happened because of watching this person speak, it kind of needs an energy shift, okay? So I'm going to talk about the things that actually the number one thing that's kind of like the devil in everybody's eyes, and that's money, right? So I'm going to talk about Grant Cardone, who honestly is my favorite person of all time. Just when I discovered him, his philosophy just kind of embedded into the type of personality that I have. And it just made me feel really, really good. Nancy was supposed to go next, so it's kind of cool that I get to open up for Nancy because she's a beast, just so you guys know. There she is. What's goody? Okay, cool. So back to my point, okay? Now, Tim and Mike, and I kind of realized their kind of perspective and their energy and how their energy shifted when they heard this guy speak. And I listen to this guy on a daily basis. I listen to Sell or Be Sold down near every single day. I'm not going to say 7 days a week, but at least 4, right? Because it's just a good philosophy to have on life. He's a good salesperson, right? Not only is he a millionaire, but he's a billionaire, okay? He talked about what actually money is. Okay, so shift you guys' focus to that. Okay, we've been talking about network marketing, we've been talking about building and leadership, and we've been talking about all the essential things that a human being should have, especially in this business. However, people don't like to talk about the end result, which is time freedom and I don't want to say most importantly, but to some people, most importantly, financial freedom. So financial freedom, not only are you getting the ability to basically make a very significant amount of money, but like how much? Right? How much money are you actually making? So first of all, I want to talk about what is money. One of the biggest paradigm shifts that I had was when Mike told me what money was, right? So money is actually just a piece of paper. To me, I valued money so heavily before. Like it's the only thing that I worked for. I woke up and thought about it. I went to sleep thinking about it. Like I spent my whole entire day getting it or attempting to get it, right? And so when my paradigm shift happened, when I realized what it actually was it's just energy, and it's just a way to keep score of the things that you're doing, right? But in all reality, it's just a piece of paper. It's absolutely worthless, right? What it actually is, okay? So let's say I'm gonna go ahead and give Jordan, I am a customer. Jordan owns a business. I need my gutters cleaned at my house. I'm gonna call Jordan up. He's gonna charge me $100, okay? I have $100 in my hand, imaginary one. I wish I had an actual bill, but I don't because nobody carries cash anymore. So I wish I had an imaginary $100 bill. I'm going to give it to Jordan for the services that he's going to provide. This is how an economy works. I'm going to go ahead and give him $100. Now Jordan, right, he needs a service for himself. So he needs to go get his oil change on his company car. So the $100 that I just gave to him, he is now going to go give it to Brady. Brady's the mechanic, okay? Brady, oh look, Cody's got $100. Throw it away, bro. It's worthless. Now, Brady's got $100. Now, Jordan just paid Brady for services that Jordan needed. Now, Brady's going to go need services. Brady needs to get his toilet unclogged because he ate non-vegan food, right? So he's going to go now pay Mike $100 to unclog his toilet, right? That's how an economy works. Money never is actually anybody's. It doesn't belong to absolutely anybody, okay? It just is always constantly circulating around other people. The money that you have in your bank account today is not yours. It never belonged to you. It was somebody else's before it got to you. The company put it into your bank account, right? Because it's not even actual money unless you go to the ATM and get it, right? It was just a figure deposited, transferring from one screen to another screen, and it just so happened to show up on your phone the next day. That's called direct deposit, right? So it's just a transfer. It's just a cycle of numbers being exchanged. And so now what's going to happen is that's how a basic economy works. So people get stuck into this thing called a rabbit hole or a rat race, a rat race, because people always just continuously are like, okay, I need to go get this piece of paper. I need to go get this piece of paper, right? You're always looking to acquire different pieces of paper, right? Which is money. But in our reality, none of it actually exists. It's all just a way to control and manipulate and keep people aligned into something. So with that being said, if that's actually what it is, how do we relate it and translate it back to our business, right? How do we tie in leadership and all these amazing things that we're learning from all these amazing leaders? How do we tie that all back if what we're working towards is not actually a thing, right? It's just a way to keep score. But it allows us to do so many other things. Like I could not have gone to Vegas and done the things that I did if I didn't have money. I could not have the things that I'm able to do, or the things that Tim's able to do if he wasn't chairman. Like he couldn't travel around the world and take, 9 or however many countries, all of Europe and all of Asia and all of whatever, the whole world in 35 days if he didn't have money. So how much money, I want to ask you guys a very serious question, okay? And I want you to be very, very honest with you guys. I'm going to Eddie under the bus here because we literally talked about this yesterday, right? Shout out to Eddie, man. He's always on these calls. So think about this. I want you to be very sincere and write down on your notes right now. To the dollar, up to last month, because you may not know month to date, but up to last month, do you know how much money you made last year? Like, I want you to genuinely ask yourself that question. Do you know how much money you made last year? I guarantee you 95% of you have absolutely no clue. Or maybe in like a range. Maybe if your salary is $35,000, you know that you made $35,000 last year. First of all, if you're working a salary, you're being scammed. Sorry to offend you, but it's just the truth. Okay? So how much money did you make last year? If you don't know, figure it out, bro. Because how can you possibly get to chairman if you don't even know how much a chairman makes? Right? Okay, now, here's more importantly, in 2020, how much money do you want to make? Okay? How much do you want to make? You want to make 30,000? You want to make 60,000? You want to make 100,000? You want to make 250,000? You want to make 500,000? Like, you want to make $1 million? You want to make 10 million? You want to make 100 billion? How much money do you want to make? It's all fake anyway. But if you don't put I was going to swear, but I don't want to because I don't want to get too aggressive. If you don't put a figure to it, how can you possibly ever get there? Okay, here's what Grant did. Okay, I'm not gonna do it because I feel like it's too aggressive, Jordan. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna give you guys a little example of what happened. Okay, so Grant is like, if you guys don't know who he is, please go on his Instagram. Please watch his content at Grant Cardone on everything. Okay, he's an amazing salesperson and business guru, you could say, okay? You know what he did? He said he was up on stage, right? And the VIP section for GoPro tickets were like $3,700. Right behind them, it was like $1,500. And then general admission was anywhere between $300 to $500 for the ticket, right? So Grant went up there and he was just like, okay, so to all you guys up here in the front, how much did your ticket cost? People were like $3,000. You're like, he turned back to as if he was speaking to Eric Worre out in backstage. And he's just like, Worry, like, what are you doing? You're just basically giving these tickets away. Like, why are you only charging people $3,000 for these tickets? Okay. That was just one of the ways that he called people broke. Okay. Another way he called people broke is he was just like, how much did you guys pay? Right? You guys up at the top, how much did you guys pay? Anywhere between $300 to $500. People are like, what are you guys doing? You're getting all this information for $300? Like, this is worth so much stuff. If you go to 10X GrowthCon, his most expensive ticket's like $35,000. That's like somebody's entire year earnings, and this man is charging that for a ticket to a 3-day event because he realizes that people are going to pay for it if they have it. Okay? People are going to pay for it if they have it, because people that have a lot of money don't value money like people that don't have a lot of money. Let me show you guys how easy it is to make money. Okay? Give me 1 second. You guys all have your chat up? If you don't, please go ahead and pull it out. Somebody send me $5, please. I'm just going to wait for my phone to ring. That's how easy it is to make money. I just got 2. I just made $10 in 2 hours. I just made $15 in 2 hours. Some of you guys make that an hour. It's not offensive at all, right? I just want you guys to understand that's literally what Grant Cardone did. Except he didn't ask people for $5. And first of all, I appreciate you guys that actually sending me money. I'm not giving it back, just so you guys know. That's literally what he did. He was up on stage and he was like, somebody give me $100 bill. Somebody, anybody. He just wait. He did exactly what I just did. He's like, this is how easy it is to make money. He stood up there and he was just like, somebody give me $100. Bro, somebody ran up and gave him $100. And then guess what happened? Just like exactly what happened here, because one person did it, there was like 20 people that rushed the stage and they gave him $100. Like some people were giving him $200. And this man just kept it all. He just put it in his pocket and he just walked away. Like this man made like $2,000, $3,000 just standing there, asked people for money. He's like, I just made, he dissed Gary Vee. For you guys that know Gary Vee, he was just like, I just made more right now than Gary Vee did last week. Right? Literally, this is how aggressive this guy is. And some people say aggressive, but I just think that's how real he is. Because a lot of people just don't understand the concept of money. Our product, okay, so I actually heard something today. I was involved in a conversation with the CEO of a company. And he said, the product that we sell is not something that people buy. It's something that gets sold to them. Okay. And I was like, holy shit, that's a very smart thing to say. Our product is something people buy. Our service, what we learn is our skill set is something people want to buy. So if people think it's $165 is too much, they don't understand money. If you guys still are like concerned the fact that you're selling and promoting a product that's $165 a month, first of all, you really only have to pay once, because if we do our job correctly as leaders, people should never have to pay because they should be going to and free in 48 hours, right? That's one of the things that I learned. To shift the subject to the next topic, right? Now we understand, obviously, what we're doing right now, what we did last year, how we understand about money, it hasn't gotten us to the point that we need to be. That's why we're on this call. Perfect. Next year, how much money are we going to make? How much money do you want to make next year? If you don't know, please figure it out, or else you're going to stay broke. And I hate to say those words. It's just the way that people understand it. People always say, I don't want to go anywhere because I'm broke. I don't have any money. Stop being broke, bro. It's just a mindset, bro. I've been broke as fuck before. But I just realized that it's just a mindset. So all I have to do is just shift my mindset. And eventually I just tend to raise my frequencies, right? And all of a sudden I'm no longer broke. Okay. Now who's got a retirement plan in this group? Well, it's 56 people. Drop a number 1 if you have a retirement plan. 401k, a Roth, an IRA, whatever all that other BS is. Drop a 1. Okay, cool. Awesome. Perfect. Great. Awesome. You guys should not have a retirement plan. You should be the retirement plan. You should be the retirement plan. Why do you have a retirement plan? You don't believe in your own abilities? Why are you banking on somebody giving you money when you're 60 years old? Do you not believe that what you're doing right now is going to get you to the lifestyle that you want? You shouldn't have a retirement plan. You shouldn't be giving your money to these corporations. Do you guys not know what we do? We're institutional traders. We are the institutions. Why are you giving your money away to Morgan Stanley? Why are you giving away your money to Chase Bank? Why are you giving your money away to the 401k at your job? Do you even know where that money goes? You shouldn't have a retirement plan. You should be the retirement plan. You guys should be so intimate in what you're doing that you shouldn't give anybody else any sort of ability to control your money. Okay? Now, people make millions and millions of dollars in network marketing. Like another thing that he did was just like people that make $200,000 make some noise, right? You know, hyping people up. Only obviously people that made $200,000 make some noise. So people were like, maybe there was like, I would say like 30, 40 people out of maybe like 2,000-3,000 person audience that were there. They were kind of hyped up, right? Now, the point that he was making was just like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I remember my first beer, right? But then he was like, okay, now people that make over $1 million make some noise. There's probably only like 10 people in the room that were making over $1 million. He was so impressed. I mean, like unimpressed. He was like, what are you guys doing? He's like, what this industry has so much potential. And right there is where I realized that what we have is the sauce and the absolute just like bay of network marketing. Because we can, and Darwin confirmed it yesterday. I don't know if you guys were paying attention to it, but I'm all ears when it comes to money. He said, I've made $1 million here and $1 million here. You guys know what that means? This means he's made, and I'm not claiming it, he is. He said it yesterday if you guys were paying attention. He's made $1 million in trading and $1 million in building. No other company can make you, I can go sell a product in another company, but I can't make $1 million with that product. Make $1 million selling it, but I can't make $1 million doing it. I can't make $1 million making a protein shake and drinking it. I can't make $1 million doing that. I can't make $1 million rubbing something on my face. Okay? You can make $1 million selling it, which is network marketing, but you can't make $1 million with the product. And that right there is when my paradigm shifted on what we have in front of us, because we're teaching people a skill set that can make them $1 million. And then if they go and share it with the world, just like how they do normally, they make another $1 million. And that's when I realized that, like, as time goes by, as more GoPro conventions that I attend and as the team gets bigger, when next time somebody up on stage asks how many people here make over $1 million, all of I am there is going to go bananas, because we have a skill set and we do network marketing. You guys understand there's a lot of millionaires, and Tim says it all the time if you guys pay attention. This has made more millionaires than any other industry. Now, trading is the biggest financial market in the world. Okay, biggest financial market in the world, most millionaires out of any industry. Do you guys understand what that is? It's very powerful, right? But we have to understand what is in front of us, which is the ability to make and multiply money. Make and multiply money. A lot of these network marketing companies, they just do it for the money because they can make money. They can create a different lifestyle for themselves, but they have no way to multiply it. Then they make all this money and go give it to Morgan Stanley. They get all this money and then go give it to Goldman Sachs, right? They make all this money and go buy 3 houses. They go buy liabilities. They go buy nice cars, right? Which is okay because Grant Cardone's got a $50 million jet, but dude, he's got $1 billion in real estate. You understand the difference? Like, we have to understand money. We have to understand what it is, where it comes from, how we earn it, but most importantly, what do we do once we get it? There's a lot of people that know how to make money, right? There's a lot of, but there, and the gap, right? There's a lot of people that make money because I don't remember who said it, but you're like, you either have a job and you're happy with it, or you have a job and you don't like your job, right? And there's a lot of people that make money because making money is not hard. Like, I just made $15 for asking for it. Out here in Chicago, you stand outside with a cup, you'll get at least $20. I promise you. Someone super Jesus loving person's always carrying cash around will give you $5 just for asking for it, right? That's how it works out in big cities like this. So people understand how to make money, but the gap is very, very big on understanding how to keep money and then how to multiply money. So we're learning how to make money, by going to trainings, understanding how to build a team, right? Becoming a better leader, it makes us money. It's an income producing activity. It's an income producing skill set, right? And then we're learning how to multiply money, which is our product. So now all we have to do is figure out the keep it part, which is not that hard. I mean, just look at what you're wearing, look at where you're living, right? If you're living lavishly, if you're wearing more money than what you actually have in your bank account, you should figure something out, right? But most of the time, what happens is a lot of people just know how to make money. They don't know how to keep it, nor do they know how to multiply it. And we have 2 out of the 3 of those. And the third one is really just not that hard if you have a little bit of common sense, right? So to wrap it up, right, basically his whole topic was 10X. What is 10X? 10X is a movement. It's whatever you wrote down on your goals for how much you want to make next year, 10X that. That should be your goal. However many people you want to bring to the next event, you should 10X that. That should be your goal. Like I had to go revise my goals because I had wrote down that I wanted to add 50 customers in the next 90 days. I got to go 10X that. Because or else I'm not practicing when I'm preaching and then my brain shifts to such a small number. Like I wanted to, this is something that I tend to just portray, right? My goal is not $1 million. My goal is $10 million. Why? Because Grant Cardone always says, if your goal is $1 million, you're starting small. Like $1 million is nothing. You guys know that $1 million is going to be like 100,000 in the next 5 years. There's this thing called inflation. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but $1 million in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be worth as much as 100,000 right now. So if you guys are shooting to make 6 figures, you guys are screwed. You guys are so screwed because by the time you actually hit 6 figures is going to be like making 10K not right now. It's going to be worth absolutely nothing. So I want you guys to shift your focus a little bit about what money is, what we actually have in front of us, and start shifting yourself on the fact that the ability that we have is just so powerful. It's just so completely, it shifted my paradigm, honestly, because it was not only seeing top earners in trading, not only top earners in network market, or not top earners in IM. It was like I saw another company's $1 million earners. Like these guys were so respected and nobody knew who the fuck they were because they were just around other successful people. And that to me was like, yo, this GoPro thing, this is not team stats. This is like the league stats. You guys know anything about football, right? There's the AFC and there's the NFC. Like we're like, what's it really? I don't even know. We're like the Bears right now, except we're a little bit better, right? We don't have a shitty kicker. But this is like you're seeing all the MVPs from like the Patriots. You know, you're seeing all the MVPs from like Kansas City. Like you're seeing all the MVPs from all the other teams come together and literally are like, shit, this is it. This is the arena of all the hot shots. Like it's not just VIP franchisees, right? They're not just key players in the company, but this is just key players in the whole entire industry. And it just was so unbelievably incredible to see that what we have is just starting off, right? So that's it for me. It's honestly a blessing, a pleasure to bring up the next person. You guys don't understand how hyped I am for the next 3 days, right? Because it's been a long time coming since Nancy's been in Chicago. It's been a long time coming. She's gone from 0 to 100 real fucking quick, right? I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. When I met her, I knew something big was going to happen, but I didn't realize it was going to happen that fast. I remember the first time that we met, we sat down and we met at the Merchandise Mart in Chicago. And we literally talked about how we wanted to get this thing going. And it was really, honestly, I'm going to give all props to her. She's the one that really got it started, right? Because she's the one that decided to take consistent action about not only allowing us to be at her house, right? But now just consistently promoting, consistently being a genuine person, one of the most like just caring and leading by example type of people. Like this person has never directly ever said anything to coach me. She just always does something and leads by example. The most humble person I ever meet in my life. You guys have to go bananas. Like you guys have to go just 10 times harder in the chat. We got to break this Zoom, right? Let me go ahead and bring up the first chairwoman in Quantum Creations, Nancy.
I love when they say that. What's up? You got me cheesing over here. Thank you guys so much for the love. I honestly do feel that through this screen. It's so crazy how that happens. I don't know how I'm going to follow Armando's savagery. Like, it's going to be pretty contrasting, but here I am. Guys, we got a lot of information. The last 5 days, honestly, like my brain was full. I am, wow, guys, you're still going in. Y'all go hard. QC go hard. But we had a lot of information the last 5 days from GoPro and from John Guaman's LBD 2K retreat, right? I've been so incredibly blessed to be just a part of that, to be able to go to GoPro, to be around 6, 7, 8-figure earners, and then to have 52 people on a call that's been going on for over 2 hours. Like, this is love. Y'all are wild. But I am going to go over some things that I've learned over this weekend and things that just really hit home. So I know that Mike, y'all crazy.
It's Alana Murphy and Jordan.
I know that Mike touched on John C. Maxwell's levels of leadership. And I honestly forgot who said this at the P2K retreat. I think it was Kiani. But he talked a little bit about effective leadership. So there are 4 levels. 1 is serving. Y'all crazy. Jordan the Savage and Brady are just freaking wild. Okay, effective leadership. 1 is serving. 2 is delegating. 3 is investing, willing to help pay for things in your organization. And then 4 is developing. So I won't go too deep into details because I do want to go over a lot of things. I've learned so freaking much, guys. I could do a 3-hour training by myself just on the things that I learned in the P2K retreat. Again, super grateful. So just keep those in mind. And then I want you to maybe like marinate or think what those mean for you and for your individual organization. All right. So I learned a little bit about Nigel Stinson this last retreat. So he says that you want to push people to learn about themselves. This entire time, at least my experience in just building an organization, Alana, you're crazy too. I've always wanted to build for people, right? But instead of having to do that, my mind was shifted. My mindset was shifted in terms of maybe you don't have to build people's, or you don't have to build people's organizations for them. You don't have to change things for them. But if you change their mindset, they'll change it for themselves. They'll build for themselves. So you're really just building people, and people build their organizations, which consequently should probably build yours. So you want to lead through humility, right? So like kind of how like Mondo said, like lead by example. You don't have to tell people what to do, show them. People won't do what you say, they'll do as you do. So monkey see, monkey do. And we're the monkeys here. So you're here to grow and acquire a skill set, right? So make sure that people are growing and acquiring the skill set. Don't just abandon them. People are people. They're not just numbers. They're not just a PRSV in your back office. Remember that this is a product, but this product is actually skill. We're not here to sell lotions and potions. We're here to make sure that people are growing, that their bank account is growing, and that we're just overall having a good time in this community. What the hell? Does that say 2,000? Yo, wilding. And then remember that your season is coming. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. So make sure that not only are you constantly planting seeds, but you're constantly nourishing the soil. Make sure that you just remember that patience is key. Your season is coming. Be patient. So this test in life will be your testimony. Oh, that's so good. Okay, this test in your life is going to be your testimony one day. Remember that any adversity that you're going through, and I already see some names, some faces on the screen that I know this hits you. Like this hits home for some of you, and I know that personally. So remember that whatever it is that you're going through right now, your future self, the future version of you, will one day be able to talk about it and talk about how you went through it, how you grew through it. You grew because of it. So just remember about that. Like nothing lasts forever, and that also includes the hard times. So people want to manage time. This is a good one too. People want to learn how to manage time, right? Time management is a really hard skill to acquire, allegedly. But it's not about managing time, it's about managing yourself. Like how you perceive time. I see you, Mike. So it really just comes down to, are you going to set yourself in the position of organization? It's all about mindset. It's all about perspective. So if you say that you're going to do something, like Mondo said, like take action. Don't just talk about things. Walk it like you talk it. So don't worry about acquiring the time management skill. Just worry about managing yourself, managing your mindset, making sure that you're good always. So if you don't have goals, you will work for someone who does. I don't know if his screen is frozen, but he's giving me a face. All right. If you don't have goals, you'll work for someone who does. That's kind of how it comes down to. Oh, I see Kiki. You know, like it's always the A and B students working for the C students. If you don't have goals on paper, like Mondo's talking about, if you don't 10x them, you're thinking too small. Think bigger. Otherwise, people that are underqualified will do those things. So go ahead, step up, boss up, posture up. We got this. So I'm not going to go over it. Yeah. So he also talked about the 6 steps for achieving goals. 1 is choose your goals. 2 is set priorities for those goals. 3 is choose activities. 4 is set priorities for those activities. 5 is schedule, and 6 is implement. And then there's also a video by Brian Tracy, I believe, that kind of goes over this idea of time management. So I'm gonna go over a little bit more. That was Nigel Stinson, Chairman 10. So 1 is choose goals. 2, set priorities for those goals. 3, choose activities. 4, choose priorities for those activities. 5 is schedule, and 6 is implement. There are 4,000, no, I don't know, man. Okay, so let's go over a little bit of what Chairman 100, Emmerich Holmes, was talking about. You know him on Instagram as Mr. Banks. Just being in the same room with this individual was crazy. I've seen him in person multiple times at events and also at the Trade House down at Dallas, and his energy is just next level. Like, his thought process is always next level. This guy's like 6'3" of just like, what am I going to do next? Like, he's already thinking about the next few steps ahead of him, and he's Chairman 100. So think about you being under 30 years old, making $100,000 a month base salary. A lot of us can't handle that kind of money. A lot of us will lose that kind of money. But this is someone who's been able to keep it. He's seen a little bit of retracement, as we all do, and he's not tripping about it, because he knows that what comes next is basically based on his actions. He's in charge. There's no one in charge of him. So it's really just cool to see what he's thinking of. So he says, identify what you want. And then what could I do to make that happen? This is where we get creative. And I know that Kevin Navarrete can also testify for this, because he says, if you have a goal, you put it in the middle, right? You make a circle around that goal. Now make lines coming out of that circle on the ways that you're going to have that happen, on the ways that you're going to make that happen. So if your goal is Chairman 10, how are you going to get those exposures? Where are you going to meet up with people? Get creative. So it's like, sometimes we shut down old school ways, but if you want to drop flyers, and drop flyers. If you want to, like post up at a school, post up at a school. Be creative in the way that you want to get things done, because there's really no right or wrong. It's just as long as your goals are obtained. All right, and then the last thing that I want to close things out with was something from Ricky Valdez. So this is someone that I respect a lot. He came to Chicago a few months ago when the team was still kind of in the process of building. So I'm sure that we'll have him back soon, and he'll see the growth, which will be really cool. This is someone who basically put El Paso on his back. He is an educator. He was on Swipes, and he's a chairman. So it's cool to see pretty much another like Mike Navarrete down in El Paso putting a city on his back, just impacting people in his local community. So he touched upon something that's called the zone, and you could look it up on YouTube. It's called the zone. Basically, put yourself in a mindset of, I am only 1 or 2 people away from my goal, whatever that goal may be. I am only 1 or 2 people away from hitting P5, from hitting chairman. If you want to attract leaders, you have to be one with what you want to attract. Become the person you're meant to be with. So if you want to attract hitters or influencers or people of posture, then you have to become that person, or you have to be at least in a vibration, in alignment with someone like that. You can't be down here and expect to attract someone up here. You know what I mean? So products are a product of what you're asking for. Problems are a product of what you're asking for. So if you guys are going through something right now, and I'm sure a lot of us are, we're only having those quote unquote problems because they're setting us up to learn something. It's an opportunity to learn something that we're meant to conquer later on. So if you're having some retracement issues right now at P6, you're meant to go through that right now. You are meant to go through that. The universe doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So at the level that you're at, the problems that you have are proportional, and they're here to help you grow. So he says, he says 2 like one-liners: shut up and produce. Stop complaining. Stop bitching at your upline. Stop asking for things. Just shut up and get shit done. And then 2 is pay the price. Literally, pay your subscription. You can't expect to go P6 and not have an active subscription. You can't expect to go P100 or P150 and not have an active subscription. Pay the price, both physically and, I guess, mentally or theoretically. I feel like there's a different word for that. Okay, so the problem isn't the problem. The problem is how we react to the problem. So always remember that every problem that comes into your life is meant for you. It's here happening for you, not to you. And that the problem is just an opportunity for you to find solutions. So don't look at it as a problem. Look at it as, how am I responding that I'm making this a problem? And that just really hits home for me, because instead of getting upset at something, I could just change my attitude about it. I think that's a lot easier than changing the situation. We're not always in control of the situation, but we are in control of ourselves, or at least we should be. All right, 2, accept. What is, let it be. And then 3 is immediately find the positive in the problem. So for every negative, there is a positive. Just find that positive and you'll feel a little bit better. So this thing called the zone, right? Keep lifting your frequency, because everything in life responds to my vibrations. Keep lifting your frequency, because everything in life will respond to the level of vibration that you're at. Forgiveness. There are going to be times where we have to forgive someone that isn't sorry. That's life. So forgive them, not for their sake, but for yours. Let it go. Be silent in your body. Be calm, be cool, relaxed. These are alpha and delta states. So in those states, you're going to be attracting, again, people that are also in those states. If you want problematic people in your organization, then by all means stay the same. But if you want people that are independent, that are problem solvers, that will bring in other people like them, then you have to be that person first. So take deep breaths. This is the morphogenic field, and I will look that up later on with you guys, because I don't know what that is. And then creating on free will. Be constantly creating art. You are art. So there is conscious, unconscious state of energy, and you have to keep learning to let go. So a lot of the main theme, or what's that called when something's repetitive? Redundant? No. The motif of this talk about being in the zone is letting go, which I think is a really great time for us, because we're at the end of the year. We want to leave 2019 and 2019 and new year, new me, right? Or so people are thinking. So if you want to let shit go, or you want to leave things in the past, then learn to let go, learn to forgive others. So there's this place called the danger zone. That's your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. This is where you will remain poor. You will remain passing up opportunities. There are people who feel entitled to things without going through things to make them deserve those things. So don't be entitled. You're not anything special. I mean, we're all special, which means that no one's special. So pressure is just an illusion. There are a lot of people that say 369, holy shit, this is still going. Pressure is just an illusion. There are people that say, okay, diamonds are made under pressure. But what is pressure? Who's to say that pressure is pressure? So it's just an illusion. If you feel like you're going through something, just remember it's all mindset. Cheers to that, Cody. So ego is just a false sense of insecurities. Anyone that has a lot of ego, they're pretty much, what's the word? When you're making up for something. You know when guys have like a big truck? What's the word I'm looking for?
Compensate. Yeah.
Compensating. There you go. So ego is really just compensating. It's a false sense of insecurity. So hear what is meant, not what is said. Learn to listen to people. Really listen. Not just talk with them, not just talk to them, but listen to what's going on. I know that I've had a few conversations with a few people on this call where it's like, you know, hey, how's life going? Everything's great. I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. When you say I'm fine, like, I know that you're not really fine. I could read between the lines. I could listen to your voice, your tone. I feel your energy. Like, energy doesn't lie. So you could say one thing, but mean another. So in terms of leadership, you want to make sure that you're always listening to what people mean, not just what they're saying. That also comes down to like the levels of leadership. So let go of being right so you can be rich. Drop the ego. The ego is not your amigo. Leave the ego at the door. Every GF everywhere. That's fun. So let go of being right so you can be rich. We're thinking long term, right? We're not thinking about just right here, right now. I'm talking about forever. I don't care about looking like a dumbass right now because I'm going to be wealthy as fuck and buy every building I can. So how to get into this zone. So the transformation comes from your word. If anyone's ever listened to the 4 agreements, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Be intentional. Everything that you say, you must follow through with. So the transformation literally comes from, hey, I'm going to be the best version of me and following through. Now, words do not return void. I actually have to Google or look up, or maybe ask Mike what that means. Okay, so practice, repetition, and experience. Surrender. I really appreciate and just value Ricky because he speaks very calmly. So you know that he's practicing what he preaches because he's talking about being cool, calm, and collected, and this man really is. And he's just coming from a place of vulnerability and realness, like just being raw, straightforward. So he says surrender. Like, let go of your pride, drop it. Let go of just wanting to be right all the time. It's not going to get you anywhere. And once you do, then you will get everything that it is that you put out into the world, which is your intention. And you'll get a tenfold because we're 10xing over here via our energy. So pay the price daily over a long career. We're not here to just get people in and forget about them. Pay the price. Be the leader every single day. Show up every single day. Hop on these calls. Like, kudos to all 45 of you that are still on this call like 2.5 hours later. Like, give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back, you know, give yourselves a nice little treat, a coffee tomorrow. You guys deserve it. You're fucking awesome. So the beauty of owning a business is that it gives you options. It gives you opportunities, both financially and experience, right? Let go of the noise. Let go of anything that's distracting you. If it's not giving you, I don't know if I should say this. If it's not giving you money, love, or orgasms, just drop that shit. So be ready.
My light just flickered. Did you see that? Too lit.
So surrender the ego to be right. Surrender entitlement. Success is not to be controlled. It's to be lived. Success is not to be controlled. It's to be lived. It's not getting successful. It's staying successful. So it's not about making it. Guys, it's about making it, keeping it, reinvesting it, and then making sure that you're bringing your friends and your family with you. What good is success? What good is first class if your homies can't sit, right? That's why I think we love J. Cole so much. But I do think I want to make another training on the zone a little bit more elaborately because I want to listen to it. I want to really study it. It sounds like something that would just really hit home for me. Shout out to you guys for still going in this chat. Like, I know how you're doing it. But yeah, I don't know actually who is coming on next. Let me just take a little quick peek so I can give you the time, energy, and edification that you deserve, my friend. Who's coming next? Okay, dope. Are you guys still ready? Are you guys still paying attention? Because we've been going on for 2.5 hours. Are you guys still hungry? Yes, ma'am. Dope. All right, again, guys, kudos to you for staying on this call, for being attentive, for taking notes. We have gotten 5 days worth of information. Yeah, I see you, Cody. I know. I know that you got nice handwriting. So the person that I want to bring up is someone that I've gotten multiple chances to kind of get to know, especially this weekend with GoPro, staying in the same Airbnb as her, and just seeing how she kind of does things, seeing how she kind of just cares about, the people around her, and just her being genuine and seeing her just take notes. This is someone that I respect from afar, not someone that I know too much about, but I know enough and I feel the energy enough to know that she is pureness, she is good intentions, and she means really well, and she's hungry. I think she came from a different company. She's here, and she's been around for as long as I've been in the company. So like we're all running this, guys. Consistency pays. In one way or another, consistency pays. I obviously have gotten to just kind of see the consistency and see where it's taking her. Like, I know that sounds easy to say, but it's not easy to do. So we really should just give her a round of applause, drop some more 7s or some 8s in the chat for Andrea all the way from the East Coast. I'm going to have her, speak her wisdom, her young wisdom onto you guys and see her perspective on GoPro and what she's learned.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate you so much. Thank you everyone for still being on. Y'all are savages. Connecticut, I peep you guys. I see you guys still grinding. Yes, that's my fam. Okay. So pretty much what I wanted to talk about, something that I resonated with a lot, was someone who was a speaker. Her name is Emily Barbara. At 23 years old, she was flat broke. And it wasn't until she turned 23 that she made her first $1 million. Bro, 3 years. That's insane. But it wasn't just like the money that she was making, but it was more so like the topics that she was talking about. So she talked a lot about like vibrations and pretty much like how to increase your vibrations, how to raise it. And I feel like that is super, super key with all of us, because I feel like, okay, once you hit, the amount of money that you want to make, right? What happens after, right? You retired your parents, all of your squad are millionaires, you've all of your kids, they're, more than well taken care of. You've already created generational wealth. Like, what happens next? Like, what is fulfilling your life? And that's pretty much where like raising your vibrations comes into, really. So she gave the 13 steps, which I'm going to give you guys. So step number 1 is be grateful. Literally as simple as that, being grateful. When you wake up, write down what you're grateful for. And this is something that I know Nancy does a lot. She has her own little journal, and she literally writes down like what she's grateful for every single day. That right there will automatically just allow you to be at a higher vibration, because you will honestly just you'll literally just feel it in your heart, like how pure of a feeling, like this gratefulness feeling. I don't know how to explain it, but y'all need to do it. There's also like, this is something that I do. It's a morning gratitude affirmation. It was actually one of my favorites. I just came across it like on YouTube. If y'all want to check it out, let me know. But it's fire. There you go. Okay. And then step number 2, love. So I know a lot of you guys may have seen the emotional guidance scale. I know Mike and Nancy have talked about it a lot before, but she pretty much brought up that picture. If you guys don't know what it is, like just look up the emotional guidance scale. You guys would probably understand it. So there's an upward spiral and a downward spiral. So it's like it's going up, and then it's also like going down. So the downward spiral is pretty much negative emotions, negative thoughts, jealousy, anger, fear, while the upward spiral is more like positive thoughts. So joy, passion, love, optimism, all these positive things. So on the upward spiral, the number one is love, joy, etc. So that's also a way that you can actually raise your vibrations. Because when you tune your heart to love, you're already vibing at the highest frequency. So literally, like just having the gratefulness, doing your own grateful affirmations in the morning, I feel like it really allows you to also tune into the love part of your emotions. So that way you can go on through your day and actually have like this positive attitude, loving, generous, kind feelings. So you guys can end up having those same thoughts as well. And then number 3 is generosity. I feel like it's like very straight to the point. Give what you want to get back in a way, right? But also don't think about it in a way of like, okay, if I do this then I'm going to get good karma and it's the only reason why I'm doing it. No. Right? Because it was just this weekend that Andrew and I were walking by the strip at Vegas, and we come across this young boy who was literally eating out of a trash can. Like, you can already tell that he didn't have a home. But, well, like the most human thing to do would obviously be, like, give him some food. And that's exactly what we did. But that right there is not like, oh, like we just did it because, oh, good karma, or like, no, it's just a human thing to do. So be generous, guys, like be kind, like go out there and like spread love, like, because at the end of the day, like we're all human, like we all go through shit in life, but we just have to have each other's backs. And number 4 is forgiveness. So forgiveness, I feel like it is the hardest thing to do when you feel like, that person might not be worthy of your forgiveness, but it's actually something that is super, super key in order for you to heal yourself and move forward. Because I feel like if you aren't healed properly, if you still have things that affect you from your past, I truly don't believe that you'll be able to be quite successful as you can truly be. And the reason as to why I think that is because all of those past traumas, all of those, negative thoughts or anything that's really holding you back isn't going to allow you to reach your true potential. It's always going to be something that's holding you back. And even if you reach a certain rank or do, like flip your account or whatever, there might be retracements. There might be retracements that the universe is trying to tell you, like, no, like you still need to learn these things. And maybe forgiveness might be one of them. And then number 5, eat high vibe food. So nutrient dense food. So all the vegans out there, they already know. And then number 6, meditation, doing breath work, right? Because she also mentioned something that was really interesting. Prayer is when you're asking, and meditation is when you're receiving. So prayer is when you're asking for things, but meditating, you're already putting yourself in that state of receiving. Literally, like you're manifesting, these different goals that you want to accomplish while you're meditating. Therefore, you're already in that state of receiving. Number 7, reduce or eliminate alcohol and toxins from your body. She also said something that was pretty funny. She said, some of you are so medicated that you can't go anywhere without medications. So whether that's like, I don't know, literally alcohol or like coffee or weed or whatever, like some of y'all are so medicated that you can't go anywhere without it. Number 8, think positive thoughts. Number 9, what you think about, you become. Each thought creates your future. And we all know that our thoughts are super, super powerful. Now, it's literally like right there, like what you think about, you're going to end up attracting. because depending on how you're also vibing, you know, you want to put yourself in this higher vibrational state in order for you to have those higher vibrational thoughts, and therefore, you know, in return, obtain these things that are at that frequency, because our goals are at that higher frequency. The only reason as to why we haven't achieved them yet is because we're not vibing at that frequency, right? So that's pretty much that. For number 10, consume high vibe music, TV, movies, anything that really allows you to learn or keeps you at a happy state, right? Because I know, like, a lot of us, like, we're not just going to be, you know, watching documentaries all the time. Like, we're going to have things that we enjoy, right? Like, I love Disney movies. Disney movies, like, they're my favorite. I know the things behind them, like conspiracy shit. Yeah, I know. But they're still fun to watch. Number 11, surround yourself with beauty. And you guys can take that into your own means. For me, it's my dog, my crystals, literally wear it every single day, my bracelet, Buddha bracelet. Like, surround yourself with beauty, whatever it is that means to you. Number 12, be outside. Break from constant buzz of electricity. It makes perfect sense, because if we're literally inside, how are we going to get, you know, to breathe that natural breeze, like, or get some vitamin D, like, from the sun? Like, how are we going to be able to get in tune with nature, with, like, literally true nature, if we're just inside on our cell phones? A lot of the times, you know, like, we preach about, you know, we can make money, you know, from anywhere. We use our phones to make money. That's awesome. That's literally what we do. But we can also, you know, get in tune with our more natural state, our nature state. And then finally, 13, be sure your relationships are vibing high, because the people that you associate yourself with are either going to, you know, raise you back up. They're going to inspire you, you know, to keep going, to keep reaching your goals, or they're just going to, you know, distract you, or they might just have different goals in their life that they want to accomplish. And maybe they're not, you know, in tune with you, but that's okay. Like, everybody's on their own journey, right? So you have to really think, like, what is going to fulfill you in your life, right? Like, because if you don't know, like, your true passions, then you might feel a little lost. But, you know, money isn't going to solve that. That's why, like, when she was talking about, you know, how to raise your vibrations, I resonated with that a lot, because I felt like I needed to do some self-healing, and it's something that I'm still, like, working on. But I know that it was a reason as to why, when she started speaking, like, she just, like, it just attracted me. Like, I don't know what it was, but maybe it was because of that. So that's pretty much the notes that I have from her. She was literally so amazing, such a beast. And then the next person that I want to introduce, or I think it's pretty much going to be closing off the call for tonight, because we'll be going on for like 2 hours now, which is insane. So obviously we all know Tim Sloma, amazing mentor, literally. From the moment that I saw him and Mike at UConn for the first event ever, I was like, it's done. Like, them. It's done. Literally have been there for me from day one. I know that I can, you know, call them up whenever things aren't going as great, because they have my back. I know that for sure. So, Tim, I'll let you take it over, my bro.
Thank you, y'all. We've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes now, so I actually do not have anything to share. I have a couple things to go over, but I really want you to see, you know, this call was 2 hours and 45 minutes long. We sat down for 40 hours this past week and just learned. 40 hours condensed into 2 hours of information, and they did a phenomenal job breaking it down. I think, you know, it just really shows you one of the most important things here is just showing up. You know, whether it's information that is new or it's information that's being reconfirmed of what you're pursuing. I think for me, you know, this being my third GoPro, it was just that, you know, hearing it from a different perspective, right? From when I went to my first GoPro, you know, as a P1K, and I went to my second GoPro as a P2K, and I went to my third GoPro as a chairman. You know, it's just seeing it differently and being able to receive that information differently and being able to take that information and go out there and give it to everyone. I think it's just one of those things where if you can, you should. And if you can't, you have to. You know, if you can, you should. If you can't, you have to. Because I'll let you think about it. You know, I'll let you think about that phrase. And this was just such a special event to me because it was so powerful. We doubled the amount of people that came, right? You know, and at the end of the event, we each said, how much are we going to bring the GoPro next year? And we said 200, you know, and that's just a generic network marketing event. That's not even 2,000, I guess. We're 10Xing now. You know, that's not even a company event. It's not even an IM event, but I think it was such a cool event because it shows you how much we know in such a short period of time in this industry, but it also shows you how much we need to learn, right? And how much we have to grow and how much fun we're about to get ourselves into because of this information. You know, this really, I feel like this event was how do I say this? It made me realize how much we've been missing, like how much we haven't been doing. And I feel like we've been doing a lot, and that's the issue, right? We've been doing a lot when we could have made this so much easier for everybody. And I'm just super excited. You guys are really going to see the changes slowly but surely, you know, going through 2020. System wise, you know, yeah, Caesar sold his left liver to get there. And Sean, like, I remember Sean and I, listen how crazy this is. Sean, we were in the car, we're driving back from the event. Joel, yeah, he goes, you find me a ticket for what you paid, I'll go. A couple days later, I sent him a screenshot. I got you a ticket. He sends me a screenshot, ticket bought, a flight bought. And you know what I'm saying? So it's those who, I'm glad that you guys are receiving value from this because I know those who showed up is going to make it happen. I just really hope that everyone was there is able to have a stronger realization of how important it is to get people to events and what events do to you and for you. You know, the amount of connection. I mean, these are just the business cards I got from people. I have 5 business cards from just walking around and chatting with people. I have like 4 or 5 Instagrams. I have 2 phone numbers from Ubers. You know, I have 12 connections, right, of people in Vegas, people looking to network, people looking to do business just from showing up. I don't know what's going to happen because of that, but I was there for a reason. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. There's a couple things I want to go over really quick. I know a couple people jumped off. I feel bad for them, but I'll make sure to share this recording tomorrow. There was something that Armando and Sean talked about. And the first thing that came to my mind when they were talking about goal setting and they were talking about, you know, knowing exactly what you want, because a lot of people say, well, I want to make a lot of money. Well, what's a lot of money? To some people, a lot of money is $2,000 a month. To some other people, a lot of money is $2 million a month. Like for me, my goal is $1 million a month. Like just right now, my goal is $1 million a month. To me, that, like, it's so funny. Like we'll be walking and Mike and I will be chatting, right? And he'll say something like, oh yeah, it costs $15K to do that. I'm like, that's it? Like, oh no, it was Armando. I was like, yo, how much is it to have like private mentorship from Grant Cardone? It's $15,000 an hour. And my response was, that's it. That's it. $15,000 an hour for someone who has $1.4 billion in real estate. Like, I just think about money differently, right? Because I've actually gone through the thought process of what money is, why I need it, and what's it for, right? So what I was thinking when Armando and Sean were talking on this topic was, how many people on this call and how many people in our organization actually completed their 2020 vision? How many people actually went through and found out what their era looked like? How many people actually set up their master goal list, their SMART goals, their monthly calendar, their weekly calendar, their daily calendar? How many people figured out where they're going to be every single week of 2020? That's what I was thinking about, right? That's truly what I was thinking about, because it's not about what you do, it's what you think about. Like, that's it. This is why David Amite doesn't ask people, what are you up to? He asks, have you been reading your goal sheet? Because if you're reading your goal sheet, that means you're doing the actions to complete your goals. You know, I made a comment at the 2K retreat. I said, I'm not worried about what my team does. I'm worried about how my team thinks. I know everyone works. There's 10%, you know, 40 people in this call right now. You know, we were at 60 before, but there's still 40 people on this call, and people have to wake up in 4, 5, 6 hours. I have to wake up in 5 hours, right? And at the end of the day, I know the team grinds, but I don't know how my team thinks, because and it's not like it's a bad thing, but I promise you guys, if you would just think bigger much faster, you would be in a different place today. I would be in a different place today. My lack of belief, right? My lack of I wouldn't say vision, but, you know, destination of where I think I belong, right, was too low. It was too low. So I really just focus on that, y'all, is what you think. I think that was one of the biggest things I took away from, you know, the GoPro event was everything I thought that was big time ain't shit. Every goal that I ever had ain't shit. You know, like there's just so much more. Life is abundant. You can literally have everything you want, and getting yourself in that situation. Guys, you can look at me and Mike and say, cool, $10, $12, $13,000 a month just on a residual side. I'm just talking specifically for this company, right? $10,000 a month. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. It's literally fucking nothing. Nothing. Literally nothing. I can spend $10,000. Ask everyone who went to the club. I can spend $10,000 at a club in like an hour if I want to. I'll freaking do it. They know how it was and how it is. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. What you think is a lot of money, what you think is impact, is nothing. It's nothing. But you have to put yourself in a situation where you can truly believe that, because some of you are looking at me sideways like, Tim, like $10,000 a month would change my life, and it would. Another $10,000 a month would change my life too. But what I'm saying is, when you put yourself into a situation where your mind, your imagination, everything you've ever believed in is just expanded and just shifted, nothing can bring you back to normal. That's why I love our team. Because I know when people quit this organization and they go to work, they're thinking every single day, what if? Every day. And they may not come back. And this happens all the time. I have people who used to be in the business. They always come back. 2020 is the year of resurrection, let me tell you. Right? It's the year of resurrection. And it's crazy to me, because I can never work a job. I could never work for someone else. Like there's just so many things I can't do anymore because of who I've placed myself around. And I think that's the most important thing you should take from this is, how can I get closer to the campfire? How can I get closer to top earners? Where do I need to be, and what do I need to do? Right? That's what you really need to take away from this, because, man, the amount of information that was shared is just, I haven't even completed going through my notes yet. There's just so much. It's so freaking much. It's unbelievable. And, you know, while I was going through my notes last week, or, you know, I was looking through them throughout the day, I was like, man, like, I have notebooks. I have 3, 4, like right here, look at this. These are just notes from conventions and stuff. I'm like, damn, I want to go through these again before the end of the year, because I'm like, what information is hiding in there, right? Think about this. What information is hiding in there in those notebooks from my first ever IM convention that I didn't actually receive because I wasn't thinking the way I was thinking today? Like, I'm so excited to go back through those notes and those notebooks, because I'm going to get information that maybe Jason Brown said when he was a Chairman 10 when we were in Dallas for IML Dallas convention back in early 2017, that I'm going to think completely different about. So that's just what I want to say. That's all I want to talk about. Now, I want to go over tomorrow. Tomorrow is such a crazy day. Actually, in 6 minutes, the P150 promo begins. So if you guys are actually customers right now and you've been waiting to go P150, upgrade your shit in 6 minutes so you can get a free ticket to London. But number 2, we have jam-packed webinars. Today was a long day. Tomorrow is going to be insane. At 7 p.m., we have the Facebook Live webinar. I'm super excited about that. don't hop off the call yet, please. This is important information. At 7 p.m., we have the Facebook Live webinar. If you have personal invites, get them on the Zoom. Get them committed to the Zoom, right? The Facebook Live exposure is for people that you can't really get on the Zoom, but you want to get them some type of exposure to what we do. The Facebook Live is for people you haven't spoken to. It's not for people you're speaking to. Invite people to that Zoom. I'm going to send out the link tomorrow morning so you can make those invites. I've had people that hit me up on Instagram. I actually had someone from Connecticut hit me up on Instagram. They just moved to Chicago. They're looking to get started in the business. The Zoom's at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I was like, yo, I'm doing a Facebook Live. He saw my post about it. He's like, yo, how do I get on your Facebook Live? I said, hey, man, well, add me as a friend and shoot me a text message because I'll just send you a private link so you can actually be a part of the call and not just watching it from the outside. Right? You see how I phrased that to get him excited like it's some type of exclusivity to the actual webinar itself? I have 3 or 4 people hopping on the webinar who could have just been on the Facebook post, but I can see if they stay on or not. I can't see if they stay on or not if they're on the Facebook. So that's at 7 p.m. Central Time. Then at 8 p.m., we have a 7-figure network marketing tax specialist doing a call for our team. Spila, who is actually one of our chairman uplines. She's right above Cash Cartier. She paid for us to get private mentorship from Courtney Epps. Courtney Epps spoke at the Punta Cana retreat. She spoke at GoPro. She's a boss. She's literally a freaking genius. And it's hard for me to actually call people geniuses when it comes to taxes because that's something I have a high ego in. Like, I know what I'm talking about. She really knows what she's talking about. I finished her book. This is the book right here. More relaxing, less taxing. I think Mike has a couple extras that we bought from her. We bought 10 of them. I don't know how many Mike has left. We'll figure it out later. Go buy it. It's $15 on Amazon. More relaxing, less taxing. A1 book, especially if you have a desire to open up traditional business in the future, especially if you want to open up and invest in other businesses. That book is key, not only just for network marketing, but for traditional business. And then to end the night at 9 p.m., we have Matt Rosa, Chairman 500, doing the next wave mentorship call. So guys, tomorrow is jam-packed. There's 14 days left in the year. 11 of those days are work days. 3 days of those days are holidays. And I'm super excited. I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of ranks popped. Oh my God, I almost forgot that. Ivana, thank you. 8 a.m. tomorrow, Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Mike and I will be on Morning with Nino. Matt has been on there. Emery has been on there. Darwin has been on there. Jason has been on there. All the greats, like some savage speakers. And Nino asked if Mike and I would hop on and do a call on awareness. So Mike's going to talk about awareness and frequency. I'm going to talk about visioning your 2020. You guys have heard the training before. I may be a little bit more savage just because I like being more savage to people who aren't on my team because I don't have to be nice to them. So we'll see what happens there. So get on those calls, guys. Thank you for staying on. 3-hour commitment. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's already done. It's already done. And I think that you just have to really look at these notes. This is what happens in my last thing. A lot of people, they write down notes. They'll start writing things down and they'll never open up that note tab again. They'll never open that notebook again. They'll never highlight or rewrite things again. Find 3 things that you learned on this call, align them to what your priorities are for the year and what your quarterly priorities are, and focus on those 3 things this year. Sometimes we learn so much, we do nothing. Sometimes there's so much good information, so much applicable information, but because there's so much, we do nothing, right? So find those things that you really liked, right? And you may not be able to do it now. Some of you need to self-reflect. Mike and I have some self-reflecting to do. We have some self-reflecting to do this year. There's a lot of things that we've done great, but there's also a lot of things that we need to work on, right? And after we have that conversation, that's where we're going to start talking about our priorities. We did the vision. We already know where we're going, but now we're in the process mode, right? We're going to start, actually nailing down, our trackable action plan to going Chairman 100 in 2020, right? So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm grateful. This is a long webinar. My brain freaking hurts. And I'm hearing the information again. So with that being said, if you guys need anything, please let me know. If you have questions about tomorrow webinars, please let me know. If you have questions about this call, please reach out to the people that spoke. Hit them up on Instagram. Hit them up on Discord. Hit them up on Telegram. They're not afraid to talk to you. They're not going to bite. They don't care if you're not in their organization. Reach out, because the quality of your questions determine the quality of your life. All right, guys, enjoy your evening. I'll see you guys in a couple hours.